And just like that, we're back again.
Okay, so we're ready. We're good.
So yeah, so you can make yourself your little drink thing there.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
One of my all-time favorite songs when rap was good back in the day.
I don't think you know good rap.
I don't think I do, but you might change your mind.
Yeah. What up? This is Dr. Dre. The party's going on. Thank God it's Friday.
Having a subwoofers in the back of your, like 89.
Keep the heads ringing.
Probably Pontiac Firebird.
Was that the car you actually
The
had?
heads ringing.
No, my stepbrother had a blue Pontiac Firebird with like
this song came out in like 97.
yeah, with like 3-star rims on it. You know what I mean? When the big old looked like spaceships on the fucking wheels, and then he had the this like vinyl blue interior. So he like remember when people used to put the carpet stuff on the dash?
Yeah.
He had like what do they call that? Embroidered. Too loud for you. Funniest thing ever. That car would bump though.
I bet it did.
This song came out. Obviously, the movie Friday is on the cover of it. But
Well, it's a bass heavy song.
oh, very bass heavy.
If I've been a bad nigga, now let me tell you what I'm worth.
I love this song though. I love this song. This late era '90s rap is probably some of my favorite jams.
Well, I tell people all the time, I was like, depending on the song, I don't really care too much about the lyrics a lot of the time. If the actual song itself, like the melody, the beat and all that, is that like this right here, like you can kind of listen to him like, okay. Like my dad hates, like he used to hate rap.
Hates it?
He loved Dr. Dre.
Well, see, when I picture your dad, actually, this is more of you. I just think of you being the dad who's like Lawrence Fishburne from Boys in the Hood. You're like, you better get your boy home. You better get your ass home. Don't be over that girl's house.
Well, now, I think, yeah. He's also, you probably didn't watch, I don't know if you watched the show, so I'm not going to put it on you. He was also like the dad from Good Times. This dad from Boys in the Hood, and then I'm trying to think. Kind of like those two were big, but he was real loud, and he was actually pretty funny a lot of times. It just was always at the expense of somebody else.
Oh, you talking about the dad from Friday?
Craig. No, that's John Witherspoon. He wasn't that funny.
He's actually a stand-up comedian, if you didn't know.
He just died.
Oh, yeah, I know, but...
I know who John Witherspoon is.
Okay.
He used to be on the show I watched a lot of times, which was called, it was the Wayans Brothers. That's where I first saw him, yeah. But he also, like, worked with fucking Richard Pryor, Paul Mooney. He's been working since the 70s, I think.
Richard Pryor, I miss Richard Pryor.
Well, yeah. He kind of died a while ago.
Well, yeah, but I love his comedy.
I didn't even watch this shit until I was like 20, 21. Same thing with Eddie Murphy.
He's got this bit about a monkey, and monkey would go up and fuck people's ears. And like studio guys from Warner Brothers came over to him his house about a movie, and the monkey's in there. He's like, It's like a wet Q-tip. And the way Pryor talked too. Did you ever have, it's like a Bill Cosby with like a little thing mixed in with it. I can't even get it, but Eddie Murphy does a perfect spot on.
I would say he did. Well,
Pryor.
I want to see what his special is going to be like when it comes out. Eddie Murphy's, because they gave him $70 million.
$7 million?
70.
70.
$70 million for it. Now I don't know if he's gotten it all up front or if he's like half now, half later, but that's a lot of fucking money.
Do you watch any comedians in cars getting coffee?
I saw it. I saw some of the one with him. I mean, it wasn't really that funny because it was just like, I guess they know each other already, so they were kind of just hanging out.
Go get coffee.
But everybody keeps swearing up and down. He's like still funny as shit.
Who, Eddie Murphy?
Yeah. They're like, but you got to come to his fucking mansion way up in the hills. I'm like,
well, he basically in the comedians in cars getting coffee is like, yeah, I don't leave my house.
Yeah, that's what he said. They were like, he barely leaves his house.
He's like, my favorite thing to do is just stay home all day.
And that is
and everybody's like, that's why you do that.
Well, because like he has a bowling alley, swimming pool,
Right.
basketball court,
And like
movie
all of his
theater.
kids live there, and he like doesn't want them to
You know, he
leave.
has like fucking, I think 8 or 10 kids. He has a shit ton of kids.
But he loves hanging out with them. Like he's like,
I mean,
I
you
guess
got
he's
every
pissed
fucking thing that
when
you
they're not
need.
there. Right. Hey, Dad, let's go bowling.
He's got like young kids.
Yeah, I know he's got a lot of kids.
And guess what? Oh, he's got some white ladies in there too.
Oh man, I'm just teeing up the next thing here. Do you want to go to your
What was that?
Motown?
Oh, you're talking about my thing.
Well, just Motown for the background. You know, I like the.
I know you love it. Give me a second. I'll put you on to some shizer right here, baby.
I like my theme songs.
See, this is a theme song, sir.
Yeah, that is a theme song.
It's one of the best
So-
theme songs ever.
As you notice, first thing that we're starting off with is T-shirts here. So one of the topics of debate.
Now, this is
obviously is
yours
the
is a little
Caucasians T-shirt,
but see, like I said,
and you're rocking
I'm rocking
Golden
the Golden
Girls?
Girls. Yeah.
Golden Girls. First off, I just love that you're wearing a pink shirt.
You know what's funny? Initially, they had it in like blue and others, but they had it in like small people. It was like medium and then
Right.
like large, and I was like, fuck. And they only had a 3X, and I was like, I'm just fat.
Did you get that in the men's section?
Yes, I did.
Impressive.
I'm just trying to tell you, man. Hey, do you know the theme song though?
I can't say I do.
I learned it just for this reason. It's like,
You know the words and everything? All right, let's hear it. I can't.
Damn, what's the song?
I can't pass this up now.
Thank you for being a friend. Down around and back of the road again. I can't remember that part. The heart is true. You're a friend and a confidant. Thank you for being a friend. Then it goes.
Being
goes to
a friend.
no, the and if you threw a party and invited everyone that you knew, you will see the biggest gift is from me. With a card attached that read, "Thank you for being a friend." Thank you.
Damn, you nailed that.
Hey man.
I thought you had like maybe a line or two.
No, that's literally it. That's the most lyrics in that song.
So did you watch the show,
Oh, all
or
the
you
time.
just all the time?
Yeah, when I used to go to my cousin's house and they did not have cable, so they only had regular TV, and at the time they had TGI Friday, so TGI Friday used to play. Now this wasn't even TGI Friday actually. They used to play reruns of this. I used to trust me when I went to my cousin's house, I used to have to watch. What was it? As the World Turns, General Hospital, and then I had to watch Matlock, Heat of the Night.
Matlock.
Yeah. Oh, Murder She Wrote.
Murder, She Wrote.
I used
Okay.
to watch that with my grandmother.
My grandma used to
Yeah, I
watch
was
that
like,
too.
yeah. They had Good Times. All these were reruns. They had the Jeffersons. Then they had all of the the same guy sang all the songs for the TGI Friday. You're old enough to remember TGI Friday, right?
Yeah.
Like Family Matters, Full House, Step by Step. If you ever listen, it's the same guy for all the songs.
Well, Golden Girls wasn't that like on like late night?
That was
at
more
that
of a late
point-
night. Yeah, it wasn't part of that, but it's just kind of that was part of the shows I watched. But I just remember going back one day and listening, watching like Full House, and I was like, oh,
My
okay.
wife loves Full House.
Did she watch the new one?
Yeah, it's not. You know,
I mean, yeah,
it's like anything they try to reboot. You know,
Yeah.
kind of.
but I learned the theme song for Family Matters too. If my son calls me, that's his theme song actually.
Family
It's a
Matters?
Family Matters. Yep.
You know, it's funny because when you were saying Golden Girls, I'm picturing like, okay, all black family sitting there watching Golden Girls. Now,
I didn't say
It was-
everybody watched it. I
but-
just said it
but
was on, and I watched.
was
Me and
the-
my cousin, my god cousin, used to watch it a lot, and because it was a Dorothy, Blanche, Rose, and then Ma. That's just what they used to call her. And one of them, I think Blanche was the hoe.
yeah,
Yeah. So, but Blanche was the hoe. I used to think she was funny because she would always be talking about hoe, and I was like, she's like grandma's age. Yeah.
What made me say that though is daytime television. we were watching Family Matters or the
very much.
Cosbys.
But see, the Cosbys
Those were all
different. They were different.
Right, but they
yeah.
were the reruns that came on
Yeah.
daytime shows when nobody was watching,
Pretty much.
basically,
But see,
except
that's
for
how
kids.
I saw Cosby's in a different world because they used to show them back to back, which was a spinoff for the Cosby Show. It was
Okay.
the kids. Same thing as a show called Blackish with Anthony Anderson. They got another show called Grownish, and it's a spinoff. They basically did the same thing. And see, you're very confused because you don't watch either one of the shows. That's racist, Steve.
I just don't watch TV that much.
I think it's racist.
If it's nowadays, if it's like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon,
You know what?
I hate commercials.
You're the reason why
I'm the
switched that
bandwidth
shit.
guy.
I'm telling you, you're the reason why I switched that. We took our cable away and got just those things. Like,
Oh, I'm the reason you did all
Yeah.
that? Oh, I thought you were going to
Because
put
you-
this in a negative
no,
twist.
no,
You're
no,
like,
no, no, no.
I had all that shit, and you came on. I was like, fuck that. Going back to cable.
No, so because I remember when I first met you a couple years ago, you're like, oh, I don't have cable, and I was like,
No.
really?
No cable.
And you're like, no, I just
I
watch,
hate commercials.
You were like, yeah, I just watch Netflix, and at that time you were just like, I just watch Netflix all day.
Yeah.
And fucking, I talked to my wife, and I was like, and we were scared to do. I was like, you think we should just get rid? Because we were paying like $250, $270 a month for all of it. Because she has to have a certain type of speed, like internet speed for her, because she works at home.
Okay.
So I was like, fuck.
I work at home,
But that's what I'm saying.
and
but,
I have the shittiest internet speed.
oh no, we got a pretty good one.
Mine's like $70 a month.
Yeah. So our bill went from like almost $270 every month to now like we just added a couple more things, kind of being greedy, to like $110 including internet.
What's a couple more things?
Like DC has their own little thing.
Like DC Comics? Or?
Yeah. Well, they have their own channel where you can watch like it's a show called Titans about Teen Titans. Then they got Swamp Thing, and they also have like a bunch of DC cartoon movies that they never stop making. Also, Hulu, like we still watch Showtime, HBO, and Stars for a show called Power. You'll love it.
What's Power about? Nah, don't get down the rabbit hole.
No.
We'll get lost.
Power is it's like it's a good show. You would actually like it. I mean, it primarily is about like this black drug dealer who tries to legitimize his life,
Right.
but everything that he's done in the past and his mentality always fucks him up.
See,
So,
I've tried to watch some
but
others.
one like in my opinion, the hero of the show or the guy who's like when it comes to like staying down and being about the code, the street code and everything, is actually this crazy white guy they call Tommy, who he used to like the first three seasons he was.
Is he the
always
Green
coked up.
Ranger who was bad and then becomes a good White Ranger?
No, not even that. He was just like the guy who was fucking. He was about the street life, and he was with the black guy when that happened. And then when the black guy was like, "Oh, I'm going straight," he's like, "Fuck out of here!" No, you don't. Like nobody believed him because he was still doing shit. He was still killing people, still selling drugs, trying to get out of the life. And then fucking the only stand up guy is Tom because he's never snitched on anybody. The other black guy, he snitched on people, turned them in, did all this underhanded shit. And the white guy's just kind of been like, he's had to take his lumps while fucking with this guy.
Still got
And
that white shit in my beard.
well, hey man, nobody told you to put that white shit on. It's like, but he's the coolest guy. You were like, if you ever got a chance, watch it. It's a lot of fucking, and especially in the first 4 or 5 seasons, like a lot of fucking. Like there's constantly, it's like they even make jokes about it. The guy's name is Ghost, and it's like he would just be fucking chicks, like the same shit.
Ghost him.
Nah, he was Ghost because he would always get out of shit.
Let me let's do the drink thing and let's jump right into this thing.
Oh shit! Hold on.
Last time we did not do a very good job staying on topic, so
Which one you want?
I'm gonna go with the vodka Red Bull. I'm feeling
Oh,
yeah, that one.
Mr. Tito's.
Give me the ice too.
See, people gonna say that's racist because the way you just put that, you said "gimme." Like,
Please, sir,
see, I mean, you might as well put "boy" on it.
pass the gray poupon.
But we were all over the place last time.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to list this up, keep
hold on.
ourselves a little bit more on track,
And I'm gonna try
not let Mike Jenkins
tell some goddamn funny shit.
have
Alright?
his phone around.
Well, hold on. I don't hear nothing.
Oh, that's because I don't have it turned up.
Ooh, baby.
Ooh, that's baby making music
I was
right
just
there.
about to say that. I was like, look, I ain't trying to. I
Make a
don't want
little
your lady to get upset.
ham and eggs coming at you here.
Ham and eggs.
That's from Anchorman.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
See, you know, I know a lot of whites. Goddamn, that was a lot of.
That was a
vodka
lot
there.
of vodka. Yeah.
I mean, shit, Steve. I mean, you are at home, so you know, more power to you.
Fuck it. Get that out of the way.
Looks like somebody gonna be making a baby tonight.
I'd be like, you want to make a baby? Brr.
So this always happen with you. You go in down there, get too drunk.
You know what's funny? It's like my wife always gets upset with me. See, I'm not a drinker. I also because I was like, it's fucking waste of money. I'm not gonna drink it.
I don't go out drink.
No, I'm
That's
talking
not
about
true. I do
have
on
it at home.
vacation and shit, but I'm just saying.
But
like,
vacation is cool. That's what you're supposed to do.
right.
You're supposed to get fucked up on vacation.
Well, you're supposed to relax, have fun, have a good time. You know what I mean?
But I know Red Bull and vodkas kind of charge people up, so I don't know if you're the same way.
I mean, I'm not. See, there's different types of drunk for me. If I'm trying to have a good time, fun, Red Bull vodka is the way to go because I'm gonna be like. And if it's whiskey, it's like,
Whiskey dick.
no, I feel like I turn into a 70s black man. I'm like, hey, man, how's it going? Like a little bit of Cleveland voice in there. It mellows me out. Like I'm just a
Although
cool
Cleveland
dude,
is
you know what
by
I
a
mean?
white guy.
Now, it depends on the whiskey, though, too. Like Jack Daniels, that's like,
Okay.
brings out the rage in white people.
I love. Well, I'm like we were
It's like
talking.
that Bill Burr bit it's Daniel Tosh. He's like, you hear a yee-haw and this hate crime happening in T-minus 3, 2. That dude's been drinking Jack Daniels.
That's a random yeehaw. I know that's time for me to get my black ass out of there. Just like, we didn't even talk about it, but Sundown Town. I think I told you about this.
Sundown Town?
You ever heard of? So, I'm pretty sure you have them here in nice PA, but also where I'm coming from or where I got to go back through, Westminster, Carroll County. This Sundown Town, which used to mean, and I made this rhyme, but it's not how you say it. But basically, if you're black or brown, get your ass out by sundown. So,
In Maryland? Well,
Oh,
Carroll
yeah.
County's like,
come on now. Yeah, I was gonna say I got pulled over 3 times within 2 miles in Carroll County. So
that's on that heroin highway, baby.
is that what it? Because you know what's funny? I always
Yeah,
see a
it
lot.
pumps up from Baltimore, goes
Listen,
straight through
man.
Westminster and into Hanover, and those kids in Hanover,
Is that
all
what
them
it
white
is?
suburban kids are like,
Shit,
tons
listen.
of those kids. Southwest,
I saw whenever I
yeah,
go
some
through,
of my buddies. Yeah,
'cause they
you
state
know who
trooper-
you are.
the state troopers.
Heroin high.
They fucking have a field day on that goddamn bro.
I wasn't center. I was like, man, I feel close to this computer. All right, man. Let's get into these topics. You know what I'm saying? We got Killer Mike in the house again. I'm glad you came back. I apologize that none of the white people want to join the conversations.
I mean, you also, from what I can see, phrase it bad because you go, "Hey, next Saturday I'm gonna talk to this black guy about racism. You want to join?"
You're right.
I told you first of
But
all.
I'm like, no, he's cool.
But see, that's the problem. So it's like you say, your friends are like, I don't want to lose my job. Like, first of all, I don't think you're gonna lose your job.
I've had 2 people tell me that.
It's like, but at the same time, it's like I said, when you phrase it that way, I would be afraid. That's like, but at the same time, that's why I told you. Just say, oh man, I got a guy coming through. Don't even tell him I'm black. Just, oh my God, guy Mike's, he's coming through, and we're going, just have a good time.
Well, you know what the second
And
question
then
is?
spring up racism.
What are we going to talk about?
Like, just shit. Like, just shooting the shit. Just talking.
Yeah.
I told you, but you didn't listen to me. You scared him
I
away
got
again.
Naeem from the gym.
What's going on, Naeem?
I go to-
I need to know what you meant by that, Naeem. But go ahead.
I told him what you said, and we can't figure it out. But
Yeah.
I'll ask you. I'll probably see you Monday, and I'm gonna ask you.
That cloth is interesting.
Yeah, I didn't get it. But
I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, so I can't be upset yet.
maybe that's just Philly versus Baltimore. I don't know.
But see, I'm not from Baltimore. I'm from Houston.
Yeah, but you've been in fucking Baltimore now for how long?
I mean, but I've done everything in my power not to be part of Baltimore. I literally go.
That's true.
I go to Baltimore for like the harbor, and whenever they have something for like kids, and besides that.
Man, when I worked around there, whoo.
Well, that's because you were going through the fucked up areas.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you go down like Preakness, right around there,
Mm-hmm.
oh my, where they vandalized that CVS and caught it on fire during the
Other than a little riot.
Freddie Gray stuff,
Yeah.
dude, that area, half of the houses are boarded up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dilapidated, boarded up, just like crackheads sitting on the fucking
I used to with the job I got now.
stoops and shit.
Used to go to these two places. I still hit the goddamn mic. I went to go to these two places.
I just need to get you like the McDonald's thing that comes down and just like right here in front of your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you say, Mike?
But no, that's what I'm saying. I went to two places, and I shit you not, one of the places, goddamn, I can't remember the name of the street, but it's like 5 to 8 minutes away from where you're talking about. And no bullshit, they had a fucking tour bus, a cop tour bus. Like, it was literally a tour bus, but it had, like, Baltimore police on it.
Driving around drunk cops or what?
No. Just sitting there in a bad area. And on top of that, they also had this big ass like spotlight, and then they also had two cops sitting in that area. This is off of one block where I was going, and they still had high crime. they literally had a goddamn mobile hub of cops.
And where was this?
Fuck, it was like 8 minutes away, like 8-10 minutes away from there. I'm trying to think the name. It was off of fucking I think one was off of like Baltimore Street or some shit. Not Baltimore Street. Fuck, I can't even think anymore. But I just thought it was the funniest thing because I was like, I've never seen a fucking police tour bus. And on top of that, they had a light that was shine. I mean, it basically turned the fucking street from like night to day. Like that's how fucking bright it was. And they still had two cops at the end of the next block, and they still had crime all the time. And I was like, whew. I was like, trust me, I've been around shitty places and crime-filled places, but that took the cake because I was like, y'all don't give a fuck.
Oh, that's
Oh, they
awesome.
also still had those with the blue boxes. This was the first place I ever heard about that.
The blue box is it straight to the cops? Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking
the ones that they can,
Yeah.
it's like they can see whatever's going on.
about?
But the
Okay.
kids, they like throw rocks at it, knock it down, and cover it up and shit like that.
Fuck
And it's
kids.
like, yeah, it defeats the purpose. I remember when they first went up, when I came up here, and it was one of those things where it was like, man, Baltimore fucking sucks.
It does. It's a
And-
rough.
but the funny thing about it, Baltimore's like fucking 15 minutes long. Like the bad area, it's like 15 minutes. Everywhere else is like it's the outskirts.
Well, so Baltimore's like a dartboard. So like,
Dartboard.
yeah, in the bullseye is Inner Harbor.
Yeah,
Real nice area, right?
but see, that's where they put the most money.
Right. And there's the most cops. Because the cop station's right down there, and there's a cop on like every street corner. Like,
And around that area, they're trying to gentrify like a motherfucker.
well, the
But
area
it's
around,
still like hood.
right around there, the next bullseye, awful area. Like right over here is Section 8 housing. It's like
But-
that's the shit right there. That's like straight out of the movie The Wire.
But next to that though is now fucking gentrified, or you just have like, white college students and shit
Right.
like that move
So
into those areas.
That's the next circle, which is, this is your Canton, Fells Point. Over here you got Federal Hill. And then outside of that circle again goes back to bad area. And then the far out everything else is just honky white people.
Yeah, which is weird, because that's where you start meeting people who say hun and shit.
Yeah. But that's just the way Baltimore is.
But Baltimore's so fucking small. They just have a shit ton of murders for how small it is. Like, I think they're up to 300 right now. For the year.
I don't even know what the rate is, but
No, they're up to like 300 for the year.
they got a shit ton of cops, I can tell you that.
Yeah, but then they got those cops like did you see the guy who planted the crack and didn't know his body cap was on? So he went down the goddamn alley, planted the crack in a coffee can in the trash area. Didn't know, because when you hit your cam, it's on for like 30 seconds before the sound kicks in. I don't know if it's 30 seconds or maybe 15 seconds, but he basically did it quickly. Like he was like, he hit it, boom, put it there. Then he went back out to the street and was like, yeah, I think I saw him coming down this alley or something. I thought, because they arrested some guy that they planted drugs on. They were like using him as a patsy. And they were like, yeah, I think I saw him put some drugs down here. So he goes right back over to this area that's, if you just walk up on it, it's just fucking trash. There's no way in hell that you could tell there's drugs there. And he goes and picks up the coffee can. He's like, oh, found something. I'm like, really? In all that fucking trash, you found a random coffee can. And so he did that. They arrested the guy. And then it was literally later they found out. I was like, what the fuck is this? And obviously the guy got away, got some money. That cop got fired. But see, the problem is he should also like go to jail. I mean, like if I were to plant evidence on somebody, I would go to jail.
If you the big thing is like if you're a professional, you know what I mean?
See, but they always
Like-
that's that leeway they give cops though. Not everybody's bad, but I'm saying the bad ones, you gotta especially in a job like that. That's how you get people to not hate you, not hate cops, because you gotta fucking hammer those guys.
Bring that up just a little bit because I can tell you're drifting a little, just a
my
little
bad.
bit.
But that's what I'm saying. When you have like bad cops, you have to nail them. Like what they do when they have real bad people or fucking crazy drug dealers, all this shit, they'll give them fucking football life sentences. You know, the football number like 100 years, whatever.
Right.
But you have a cop like the guy who, and I know this is gonna tie into other stuff, but you ever heard of Laquan McDonald in Chicago?
No, but I feel like you should save it. We haven't got on one talking point yet, and that's such a good segue. Save that, because that's good. Because if not, we'll be here till 12. Oh man,
Oh man, yeah.
I know how this goes. All right, so the Caucasian shirt,
I do enjoy your Caucasian
and you're
shirt.
still hitting the damn microphone. Guys, the reason I got these small microphones because the last time I did this podcast,
It's
this
not just for
motherfucker
me.
was
You
hitting
said
it
it was for sound too, so
left and right,
Don't lie to people. Don't lie to people.
and he still does it.
It was an accident.
And it's the smallest microphone you can buy to do a podcast. Next thing I just have to do is put like road mics from the ceiling where you don't even have to. Just like,
Hey. Hey, guys. Yeah, it's good to be here.
Put it on the shirt. There you go. We'll
no,
be good
you
that
just
way.
did that. He'd be like, you're always doing this. You're like, that's all you'd hear.
This is fat.
Is that pleats? Pleats? Are they playing cards? What's going on over there? All right, Caucasian shirts.
Well, your Caucasian shirt. I mean,
Was it-
obviously you find it funny, but other people were severely
Bomani Jones?
offended. Yeah, Bomani Jones wore his on TV like I think it was last year sometime, and this was when it was like a big hoopla over the Redskins symbol.
Right. So explain that to everybody.
Well, I mean, just everybody was not everybody, but
Thank you.
certain people were upset.
Black people.
No,
I'm just fucking with
no,
you.
I was gonna say no. That's the problem. They weren't. It was the it was Indian people, Native American people, whatever you want to call them. They were upset because they've been trying to get this done for like decades, and people were like, get the fuck out of here. We love the Redskins. That's like, hey, like, how would you like if I called the team the Whiteskins? They'd be like, well, that's fucked up. Like, yeah,
I don't think it's fucked up.
but see,
Hence why I have the T-shirt.
but see, you're not thinking like the other people who found that shirt. Because see, if you notice it, it's a white guy with a money symbol above his head.
I don't give a shit.
But see, I mean, there's so many people who do. We both know.
I
It's
know.
like, they care, and it was just funny because it was like.
See, I wear it because it's funny.
But see, when he wore it, it
Now,
actually
if they're-
pissed off a bunch of people.
If there was a bunch of white people walking around with a Caucasian baseball team, it's like fucking asshole, arrogant asshole. They wouldn't have that goddamn TV one for slavery. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You're
always
right.
true.
You're right. It is true. I won't deny that. But my point is, first off, I think this shirt is hilarious.
It is pretty funny. But it literally just says Caucasians, which is another. Like, we don't call Native Americans Redskins. Like, hey,
Right.
the Redskins have their, reservation. Or look at the Redskins. Like, we don't do that. But we do call white people Caucasians.
Here's where I get busted.
All right, tell me.
If I was Indian, Native American,
Mm-hmm.
Indian, I would have red skin everything. I'd be like, yeah. And I'd be running after the Braves. Hell, I'd be even happy when Kansas City Chiefs won. Maybe I'd root for the Chiefs over the Redskins.
I didn't even think about all the places that had it.
Right?
Yeah.
And then Cleveland Indians, and they're mad
yeah.
about the fucking little Chief guy, Chief Wahoo. Chief Wahoo is the shit. I bought a Cleveland Indians shirt, and I'm not even an Indians fan
Well, see,
when they were in the series, just because I wanted a Chief Wahoo shirt because I thought it was awesome.
Now, I'm going to have to say I don't have too much of a dog in this fight. But at the same time.
But you do. We gonna get to that.
Oh, okay. But no, I was like, I think the Redskins is probably the most like they don't like the Cleveland Indians. It's a lot of Native American people like, yeah, we don't like any of that shit. You guys don't fucking listen. And unfortunately, white people have been wearing that shit forever. I mean, because they only care about white people. I mean, people in general, but it's primarily white people because that's usually primarily people who go to the games.
So, my perspective,
Let's go ahead.
being a white guy, obviously.
That doesn't bother you.
The Caucasian shirt thing doesn't bother me. I think it's hilarious.
But I'm saying
I think it's
the
hilarious.
other
I think
ones
it's
too.
great. And this is, I guess, we want to talk about pros and cons, and where my problem kicks in is
What's the problem?
nobody, Native Americans, we're all like, oh, get the fuck out of here. Nobody cares. It's like we talked about before.
Mm-hmm.
Tiers of racism.
Mm-hmm.
You say racism, it's black or white.
But at least
Mexican.
that's the top. That's
Mexican
the top.
comes in here.
Well, Mexicans, they're getting there.
They're climbing the ladder.
Trump has helped,
Escalate.
Yeah, there you go. Escalate them, get them higher than they were. Because it used to be, because it was Muslims, Indians, anybody who looked Middle Eastern, they were at that time. And now with Trump, he actually kind of pulled back on, like, I'll say the Indians and Muslims. He kind of said this stuff when he first got in there, but now he's like, no, Mexicans, we need that wall. And so Mexicans kind of jumped over them for the time being.
And I'll agree with that, and that's because terrorism went down.
Yeah.
A
When there's not
boatload.
enough terrorism, you can't really
Right,
push the
justify.
same. Exactly.
Right, the.
But fucking cartels and those goddamn border towns and shit.
Now that's a big issue.
Now, it is an issue, but not as much. Like, there are certain towns in, like, especially Texas and just border towns that are like, man, did you see this shit? This shit is ridiculous. But at the same time, they keep a lot of that shit over there in Mexico.
Yeah,
They're not too stupid because they know too much craziness, and the American government's gonna get on their ass and start bombing fucking cartel left and right with drones, not giving a shit like we have for a while.
right. But let's save that. Let's save that for our later topic that we got coming up.
What later? Well,
But-
I thought we were gonna tie this into another, but go ahead. Man.
We are. So I wasn't done with my point though. So my where I'm getting with the Caucasian team,
Caucasian team.
this wouldn't offend me if the Washington
shouldn't.
Nationals tomorrow became the Washington Caucasians. I would drop the Orioles in a heartbeat, and I've been a diehard O's fan.
Don't you guys have?
I love the O's, baby.
What's it? Philly.
Philadelphia Phillies, Pittsburgh Pirates. I don't like Pennsylvania teams because they're
yeah,
too.
that's
"Hey,
it.
baby, my team's the best, and you're like, all right, here we go.
Oh, you got Steelers and shit like that, but that's football.
Yeah, but my point is where, so there, a guy did an article, not even an article, and I think he was a
a blog?
pro something. I sent it to you. He wore a cutoff of a Caucasians, but it was in the not this shirt when they were, going against Wahoo. It was Chief Wahoo. They was going against the Redskins. So he had a cutoff
He had
Redskins,
yeah.
and it was a white guy, and it said Caucasians.
It was a profile thing, right? Yeah,
So the
yeah.
whole article was about like guy went to a game and just started walking around and was like,
pissed or something like that.
oh, like guy was like, go Redskins, and he's like, no, you didn't read the shirt, and he's like, Caucasians, and he's like, oh, fuck you, like.
yeah.
And I guess like a bunch of different, a white lady, he was at a street corner, came and says, you can't wear that. So what do you mean I can't wear that? He's like, you can't wear that. So the problem is, and this is where things get sticky. This is when it gets good.
That's what it gets.
Flip that role.
Uh-huh.
Flip that role.
But it was
Take
already
a-
flipped.
No. Take a white guy,
Uh-huh.
put him downtown Baltimore, walking around with a little black guy on here that said Negroes.
Well, I mean, you know.
He wouldn't make it past 2nd Street.
Well, you know, hopefully he knows how
But
to
here's
fight and he has a gun.
the point is, yeah, you're right. You're right. I know how to fight, and I got a gun, and I ain't doing it.
Exactly. I was gonna say,
I ain't doing it.
I mean,
First
clearly-
off, I don't want to offend anybody,
I'll
but
say-
I'm just creating the
but
scenario.
First, I would say, I mean,
Let's
clearly if
clarify
he's doing that. He's not worried about that part of offending people because it's like most people common sense were like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
But so my point is like, it's the fact that it's a white and Native American thing, and yes, it covers the racism umbrella. But when black people butt in the middle of it and try to get something out of it, I don't say something out of it, but use it as a platform to write a blog to be like, oh, people gave me shit. But it's like, yeah, but it doesn't involve you, baby.
See,
You know what I mean? It's like
I get what you're saying.
it's like he's
It's
butting in
like-
the middle of it and being like,
But how many Native Americans actually are there? I don't think it's
that's
that
why
many.
nobody cares. Listen, they got a lot of reparations money. They got all the casinos.
But I don't think they got. I think they got.
And
got
they
land
rolling
and
in it.
See, and that's one thing
They
we
can
should
deal
talk
with the
about.
Redskins.
See, because we could jump into, and there's one we should have put down, like reparations.
I'll talk about reparations.
Yeah.
I'll talk about
Yeah.
reparations all day.
Well, see, I was saying the reason why we could jump into reparations from that one is because everybody has a huge problem with black people getting reparations, and it's funny because any other time we're such a small portion of the population,
Right.
why do we get so much attention? All this other time, which is funny, but when it comes to reparations, oh hell no, we not. Why should we be beholden to what other people did or forefathers, shit like that, right? But at the same time, it's like that's exactly what happened to the Native Americans.
Right.
So they got reparations. Okay, cool. It's like, or their form of reparations, right? But I think they got straight up cash, plus they got land, and they got casinos and things like that.
And they get basically their own way of governing.
they kind of get to do their own
It's
thing.
basically like they got their own little
Little
Native
city.
American
Yeah,
clan
yeah.
by themselves that nobody else can tell them what
But
to do.
at the same time, Japanese people got it for those internment camps, right? So they gave reparations to them.
I don't think they do.
They did. They gave reparations to the Japanese. You can look it up.
What, they get like a $10 paycheck? Hey, man, we know you've been indentured servants now for 50 years. Here's $10 and we'll check
Oh,
your
no,
teeth out.
It wasn't even indentured servitude.
Hey, real quick, go in that tunnel we just dug out there, and
oh yeah.
we're going to take your picture real quick.
Well, see,
Well,
yeah.
took care of that.
See, that's what I'm saying. Shit like that. And
Asshole white people.
but at the same time, they also gave Jewish people reparations here in America. So we got three groups of people who've gotten reparations. Four. Who's the fourth?
Jewish reparations for
I believe
World
it
War
was
II?
for-
Because that wouldn't make
yeah.
any sense. I mean, we wouldn't have paid that.
But
Germany would have paid
they
that.
got. I'm just telling you, they got paid, man. I'm telling you, you can look it up. So
I am.
Jews got reparations, Japanese got reparations, Native American got reparations, and so then black people were like, "So what's up on them reparations?" They're like, "No, not you guys. No, we're good. Like, did we?" And I've heard people say, "We gave you what's the one for the school shit?"
Oh, yeah. The
Damn.
you get that. You basically get that black scholarship.
The black scholar. No.
Well, you know what I mean. Minority
I'm trying to
scholarship.
see-
That
what is it called though? We both know what it's called. I'm trying to think. Because I've heard a lot of people say, "Yeah, you just work hard and you'll get in there." Like, but no, these schools were literally not letting us in because we were black.
Well, that's what's going on with the Harvard thing and them turning down the Asian students
no,
because
yeah.
like, hey, man, there's
Well-
just too many of you.
And it's funny because it's like that situation is like it's interesting because it kind of throws a monkey wrench into what I'm talking about now. Affirmative action. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So affirmative action, and a lot of people forget that affirmative action wasn't put in place to put people who don't belong in certain places there. Like, if you're a fucking C student, no, you can't get into Yale. No. But if you are that A student who got everything similar to, let's say back in the 20s or whatever the fuck he was to a white kid, but this white kid got in there and you got denied, and unfortunately, like all these fucking institutions that are so liberal and all that, like I hear all of them, like no, everybody was fucking racist.
Right.
Like Hollywood is fucking racist. Up north, they were fucking racist. Maybe they didn't have the slavery that the South had, but they were still fucking racist. You still were 3/5 of a man. You still were fucking not recognized as a human. I mean, the fact that you were 3/5 of a man, they wrote that into law. Like I tell people all the time, the reason why people like they're like, oh man, you know, and I think we talked about this before, where I tell you like when people are like, oh man, you're exaggerating. Almost every exaggeration that you can think of has actually happened.
Right.
Like remember I was telling you about the gator bait with the baby, with the
Right.
black babies
That's
in the swamps in the South. It's like, or I mean, like
Some Duck Dynasty guys. Good thing y'all broke now.
are they? I thought
No,
they were still
fuck
good. Yeah,
no.
I don't even know if the show.
They
was still
lost
going,
their
though.
show. They didn't even need the show. They had mad money before that.
Because the show helped them propel their fucking business to a whole nother level.
Yeah,
that
they
don't need
were
it.
doing pretty good before that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But like they weren't hurting initially, and then the
Right.
show just helped build up, and then they had those controversies where
Right.
people who are their customers were like, "No, fuck that. I'm gonna buy more." Like it's kind of like I don't know.
By the way,
I don't
two
buy
two
shit.
things is on the topic of that.
What?
Dick's Sporting Goods
Mm.
and
Supports Trump.
supports Trump, but no, not supports Trump. Gander Outdoor was Gander Mountain was bought out by Gander Outdoor, the guy who owns Camping World, and the CEO straight up said he didn't want Trump supporters in his stores. They closing a lot of the stores.
Well, see,
You can't go to a hunting demographic
No.
conservative
You gotta
state
know
and
who
be
your
like,
people are.
"Fuck Trump," and people be like,
That's where you
"Boycott."
your business, like business,
Don't want none.
like businessmen
Durr,
have to
durr.
know, like you have to step back. Like, okay, well, you know what I think it was? I don't know if this was before or after the Nike situation with Kaepernick, and the reason being is, meaning a lot of people, because the demographic is like 18 to what, 34, maybe 25. I don't even think it's 34, but 25, like buying shoes, like people who are constantly buying shoes.
Oh yeah, it's low.
It's not, that's like, so.
It's definitely not 34.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I'm 32.
That was it. But or like 40 or 50. It's not even like so when they did all that and you had which is the funniest shit in the world to me. You had all these like conservative and it was primarily white people. It was like burning their shoes and shit. It was like, hey, idiot, you bought the shoe already. They
Right.
already got the money. Like I'll never buy from them. Okay, cool. You're not the demographic anyway. You buy a shoe every 2 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or maybe somebody else buys you a pair of shoes.
Right.
You know, like, fuck out of here. They want the guy who's going to be there at every goddamn opening for every shoe that looks cool. Like, and those
It's
are
just
young
buying
people.
Jordans anyway.
Yeah, buying Jordans or the new whatever. Or, you know, they have those sneakerheads who buy
Oh yeah.
everything. And those people are typically between a certain age bracket. And it's like, I would say 30 and under. Or like 30 to
30 and
teenage.
under.
Yeah. It's like, but when you had all these older white guys burning their merchandise and all this shit, it was like, you bought it. Just don't wear it.
Right.
I was like, because if you're smart, you know the shit's going to fucking blow over anyway. You're like, I
Right.
can wear this again. Anyway.
Eventually,
And that's exactly
5
what
years
happened.
from now, you're gonna be like,
Not even 5 years.
I wish I had all that
From
stuff.
fucking 2 years ago.
like when the Raiders or the Steelers didn't come out for the
Was that the Steelers?
national anthem. It was one of them. They were one of the teams did. It was like 4 teams.
Yeah.
The Steelers stayed in the locker room when they played the national anthem as protest. And
I think they had the one guy come out.
the
was it
conservative guy I
one
was
or
telling you
two
about, my wife's brother-in-law, burnt all of his Steelers shit
Why?
the next day. I said, he's like,
He bought it.
fuck them. I get it. He was a Marine hardcore. And
No, but see, it don't make sense.
again, it goes back to what we talked about last time where he's a super passionate guy versus like,
See, but that's
at the
too
same time,
passionate
though, I
about-
feel like you're a super passionate guy if you're going to burn $1,000 worth of merchandise.
fucking
A jersey's
crazy.
$250, you know what I mean?
First of all,
I ain't burning no
you
jersey.
goddamn right. I was like, listen, if Trump started endorsing something that I really liked, I'd be like, well, I bought the shit before Trump started endorsing. I don't give a fuck what you talk about. I'm not even that huge of a hater of Trump. I mean, I'm not a fan, But I'm not that passionate where I'm like, oh, this I can't sleep. He's destroyed him. I'm like, nah, it's
He's
like,
whatever. He's
I
whatever.
was like, he can only do so much. I was like, every president can only do so fucking much. It's who was in the House, and then you got to worry about your local government. That's really who's fucking you. Your local state governments and things of that
Right.
nature is going to be the people who fuck you. It's like, yeah, maybe the
You
president
did
can
say
put
something interesting about Hollywood and racism,
Oh, yeah, the racist as
and
fuck.
I can't disagree with you. But the problem I have with it is, think of how many writers you have, right?
A lot of them Jewish.
Jewish, white, you know what I mean? How many black writers do you have? So, like,
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. It's
but,
not.
but my point is, if you have 95% of them are white writers, 5% of them are black writers, a white guy is usually in his story, in his writing, he's fantasizing about something he's doing.
Yeah.
So he's picking a good-looking white guy. 5% of the writers are black. They're fantasizing about themselves doing it. That's why they write the story. They're picking a good-looking black guy, right? Or black woman.
Yeah.
But that's why I think it. I don't
no,
want to say it's a racism thing. I think
Oh,
it's
no.
they're
Well,
selling a product.
Well, here's the thing.
right?
So, Hollywood, the reason why, so maybe not hardcore racism, but they do help
Biased.
perpetuate
Yeah.
the stereotypes because they're like, because I mean, you can go to almost any actor, black, white, any minority, just black, white. I mean, not black, white, black, Mexican, Indian, Filipino, whatever it is. They'll tell you, oh yeah, especially black people, like, yeah, they wanted me to play gangster number one. Or
Right.
they wanted me to play drug dealer or rapist too, or something like that. And then they'll get a white person there. But
He's the hero.
yeah, I was like either hero,
Arresting that
or
guy.
sometimes they'll have him play the same thing. But it's like it's just obviously for it to be so small on like diversity, which is funny because they pretend to be about diversity, especially because you go to California, they're so liberal, whatever.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, all right, so let these guys, oh no, we got it, we got all the writers we need. It's one of those things where it's like you could liven this up if you wanted to. Nah, we're good.
But see, at the same time, I think it's still the best it's ever been, and it'll keep getting
It's
better.
No, see, here's the thing. It's actually better.
Like watch Dynamite with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Dolomite.
Dolomite, sorry,
stupid.
Dolomite.
But see, here's the thing, though. You gotta understand, we're getting back to a time we had once before. So like, so obviously 60s, 70s bad, and then kind of like, I'll say in late 70s, 80s, and some of the early 90s, we actually had a lot of movies. Like, if I'm just talking about black people, we actually had a good run for like black people. We had shows on TV, we had movies. And it was it looked like it was going in that route, and then we became not as profitable as we used to be, because people kind of just got used to like, all right, hip hop or something like that. It was just like kind of oversaturated the market.
Well, it was like the cool,
Yeah, we were cool for a second.
the cool brother black vibe thing kind of wore
It was
off.
like we well, because also some of the producers and like black producers and directors and stuff are like, no, we're not just super cool and fucking or super drug dealer. We're like, no, we're just fucking nerds and normal people. But people didn't want to see that shit.
Yeah.
So
they
that
wanted
started
the
to,
extreme.
they started to decline, and
Right.
then it was like, hey, can we get anything now? Like,
Right.
yeah, we can be
Right.
in the movie. It was sidekick, person number one, person number two, that type of shit. But it was like, oh, how about some lead actors? And not the same ones we've seen for the last 25 fucking years. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, Denzel? Yeah, who the fuck has a problem with Denzel acting? He's a fucking great actor. It was like, or something like that. It was like,
Jamie Foxx.
well,
Who doesn't like Jamie Foxx?
I love Jamie Foxx, but he doesn't get, I don't know if he gets a lot of work or if he just doesn't do a lot of movies.
He's in a lot of movies.
I mean, no,
But he's
in
also
them.
in a lot of bad movies that you never hear of. Like, and he also does like supporting characters. Like he did it was just a cop one that I got real hot and heavy on that I thought it was gonna be awesome.
The one just recently, right?
It was
like a couple years ago.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like, it's gonna be so good. I didn't even get halfway through. I'm like, this is the lamest movie. Jamie
I
Foxx.
heard it was pretty.
I was so hyped about this movie,
I heard it was.
and it was
bad.
like a movie that Mel Gibson should have played on a dying career.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a straight to DVD type.
Like exactly.
Yeah.
Like
it didn't stay in theaters that long.
Mel Gibson came out with
I
a new
will tell
movie.
you that's the good thing about nowadays is when you fuck up or your movie bombs, you go to DVD real quick or you go streaming real quick.
You know what my favorite movies are?
No, tell me.
Look, you got so excited. You spilling your drink. Good thing you look. You got a pink shirt on and you're drinking a pink drink.
It's not pink, it's red.
I know, but I wanted to say pink. What I was gonna say was my favorite movies. The black cop and the white cop. They got a little bit of racial tension there.
Talking about Training Day?
Oh well, no, because that ended bad.
I mean, yeah, it ended bad. Well, not for the white cop. It ended good for him. He just had to learn very,
Right, but
very.
that's not a good example.
I mean, 48 Hours. Eddie Murphy.
48 Hours is a good one because Nick Nolte didn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, hothead. Nick Nolte and his crazy ass voice. Fucking crazy ass
person.
guy.
I was
Yeah.
like, "What you talking about, boys?"
Next thing person to him who's crazier is Gary Busey, but we won't go down that route.
I thought they were the same person for a long time.
Well, they both out like this.
Yeah.
But no, those are some of my favorite ones. And then they become like, oh,
Best
we're
of friends
talking
and shit.
racism's not a thing. And then they walk in the sunset like you and I do, like holding hands, like
We don't hold hands. I just want to let you
No,
know.
we
We
don't.
did shoot guns though.
We do shoot guns.
I was
We
like,
do
and
shoot guns.
that actually is a good. I was say we can stay on the subject and get into what I was talking about earlier when it comes to guns.
Yeah, talking about guns. I mean,
I know we're jumping, but
we're jumping, but let's save that because it's gonna segue better. It's gonna segue better.
Go ahead, give me some.
I do want to jump into this though.
Your racism. Go ahead.
Kind of like the thing I said with the Caucasian shirt,
Mhm.
right? Things that go back and forth, that
Uh-huh.
you just say, you see a white person doing, you're like, oh man.
Oh, the head.
I see
Yeah.
I see a black person doing, I'm like, oh man. Just like why? That's why there's racism because you did that right now.
Well, see, that's-
I'm thinking a lot of racist shit right now
that's the-
because you
that's-
just did what you did.
That happened. So,
That happens all the time, does it not?
there's one that just happened.
This is
recently.
kind of one of them.
But
Nah.
not the one I'm talking. So there's a
So what I want to know,
is with the
what
head
do black
scratches.
people shake their heads at?
So Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
So just recently, I think a man shot another man over the sandwich, or you like that? See, I put a little queen in there for you.
See this movie. It's a good movie, even though it's about, that's the problem.
What?
It's okay.
Talking about gay people?
Yeah.
Oh,
This
Freddie
dude's
Mercury.
story, Freddie Mercury. Good
Yeah.
story. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Uh,
Louisiana good.
Yeah.
Louisiana good.
So shit like that always pisses us off because it's like, come on, what the really? You fighting over a fucking chicken sandwich? Like, come on, man. It's a chicken
It's like
sandwich.
a Keyshawn Johnson. Come on, man.
Exactly. It's like, because the guy shot another guy. I don't know if he killed him or just shot him, but it was like, there's a gun involved. There's another one. So I'll tell you right now, and it's one of the things, and as black people, we just hate seeing this shit where, like, there's a video. It's two people trying to get in. One person, I think, is trying to cut the line. And there's like, right here is a goddamn barrier pole, right?
Right.
The fucking person drove into it and scraping their car to try and cut. And the person who was in line, it's like, no, fuck that. I'm not letting you cut. Now they're hitting each other. They're scraping cars. They're denting each other's cars.
This is a commercial?
No, this is real fucking
This is
life.
real life. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like, and it's
Sounds fake.
exactly, because it's that goddamn stupid. And what's problem is they both have fucking clear, like they don't have tinted windows, so you can see them. Like, there's a black person, there's another. God damn it!
Wait, two black people?
Two black people, two different cars. And then what's funny is you got the people who are in line or like seeing this, like, hey, whoa, because you got people out there who got sense. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, all you gotta do is wait in line or whatever, and nobody wants to wait. And it's funny because the funniest shit to me is people are dying or really want this sandwich. Because the first go around, it was a limited thing, and people didn't get it. What?
So this was all real and not in a commercial.
Not at all, sir.
Okay.
It's a good commercial for the sandwich though. Like, hey, we're so goddamn good. People shoot themselves
And they're
fucking
all
destroy their cars for us. Yeah. So these guys were black, but there was this one shining light. There was a white guy, and he was in. I
Let's
don't know.
hear it. Come on, bring it on. I'm stretched. I'm ready. I'm ready. Bring on the racism.
It was a white guy in a Popeyes and just fucking surrounded by black people. But he gets into an argument with another black guy, right? And I don't know, like you come in on like the end of their argument and then him walking out. So nobody knows what happened. He may have been right, but he went about the wrong way. Because he was like, fuck you, goddamn nigger, blah, 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 right? Mind you, he's surrounded by black people. Wait. Here's the funny thing about it. He's like, fuck you.
Said the N-word.
Yeah, I did. So he's like, fuck you. And so then he's like, whatever. And he's walking out, right? He's walking out, and there's some black people everybody's in line. And he's like, get the fuck out of my way, niggers. You know? And it's funny because the person who's got the goddamn camera or whatever, the phone, they're like, ooh. And somebody did you watch SpongeBob, right?
Yeah, I've seen so much, right?
And you know how it goes like 15 seconds later. You just see this white guy on the ground.
Like, oh, something completely different.
You just see this white guy on the ground and people punching the shit out. I'm like, oh, I got a nigga for you. You want a nigga? And then, and what's so funny in that scene is while they're fucking him up, right? He's like, oh, you thought it was cool to call us a nigga? And they're punching, they got him by the neck on the ground and shit. It's bad. He's like hemmed up. And you can't feel bad for him because it's like, bro, you literally, like, okay, you got away with the first time. Nobody punched you then. Okay, cool. But then he just walked to random people who had nothing to do with it. Get the fuck out of my way, niggas. Goddamn stupid niggas. And he's walking out of the store like, and somebody said the best
And the white guy say that?
Oh, this is a white guy.
Oh.
And the funny thing about it, they're like, at least they didn't tear Popeyes up fucking up. They're like, they waited till he was outside and they whooped his ass. And then wait, here's the fucked up part. Because there's other people lying who got said like, take your sandwiches. So he got his ass whooped on camera and they took his sandwiches. And I was like, and this one of the parts where I was like, you know what? I'm be honest with you.
Kind of deserved it.
I kind of like that. I was like, some good solidarity on that one. But
so you got to go back though to the original topic of
no. That's what I'm saying. I'm getting back to it.
What black people shake their heads at white
the
people.
Chicken sandwich. So now white people,
because that's something I would have shook my head at too.
Well, see, exactly. So yeah, you would have been like, "Ooh, man, you are fucking." You know what I'm saying? But
I would have called you right after I seen that.
What is so funny is the black people were like, "Oh shit, he is fucking up." Like, he doesn't realize.
We got to get to Popeye. That shit is good.
And it's so funny because I've had the sandwich like 3 times now, right? And my wife was dying for it, and I wouldn't got it for her. And every time I've gone there, it's been, I got out in Columbia. You know, Columbia is like, actually, Columbia is, I think, like the, interracial fucking capital of Maryland at the moment.
Give me that vodka, please.
It's like, so, it's hilarious when I see them. But, because Columbia was, like, built on that shit.
Right.
You know that? Like, I've never seen so many interracial couples.
Well, Maryland is a liberal state, so.
No. Columbia. I literally went to
Columbia,
church.
Maryland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Not just Maryland. No, Maryland is still, like.
Columbia in general, Maryland's pretty liberal. I mean, Columbia, excuse me. Maryland is.
What was it? Governor is Republican, though. Isn't it?
I didn't know
What's
that,
his
but that's a
name?
surprise.
Hogan.
You guys are always in the blue.
You know, you got, don't you?
DC.
I told you stop
DC.
lumping me up with goddamn Baltimore. DC, but, you know, that's fucking whatever.
Anyway, keep going.
But, I was going to say, so, this chicken sandwich, and it's pretty good chicken sandwich. Don't let me lie to you now. It's pretty damn good. It's not, it's finally on par with Chick-fil-A. If you ever had Chick-fil-A, it's on par with Chick-fil-A. Sometimes a little bit better, depends on cook it. But
Right.
That right there. Me personally, I hate Popeyes, the mascot, the black lady. I think she is cooning to the highest level. I used to tell you I hate her. Ooh, be like, ooh, reach out. I'll tip it the tap. Ooh, you want my chicken? Like, you son of a stupid ass bitch. If you don't go sit your dumb ass down, you know how well Popeyes was selling before you fucking showed your dumb ass face? There was no problem with Popeyes chicken and being bought by all different races of people. And I fucking hate this lady, man. That's why I brought Popeyes up.
Everybody on the show now is going to start thinking that you're white. Because you're.
Why? 'Cause
He's not a black facing white guy. I promise he's really black.
No,
It's
no.
motherfucking Uncle Tom over here.
I'm telling you, fuck you. I'm telling you, I hate that lady because one, it didn't need it. Like,
Yeah,
put it
but
this way, churches didn't have.
You're supposed to be telling me right now what you shake your head at.
That's what I'm
at
shaking my fucking head at.
At white people. Shit white people do.
Oh, I thought you. Okay, my bad.
See, you're like telling me all this other stuff about.
I thought we were doing. I was doing the black thing. Black people shake their head at. You were doing the white thing. White people shake their head.
I'm gonna chime in on what I shake my head.
So okay. So we'll do the white guy. So, like when white guys.
You shake your head at when you see a white guy do something, and you're like, it's that little thing in the back of your head that you feel get pinched when racism happens, and you're like, crack ass motherfucker.
No, so
like a Bill Burr, crack ass motherfucker.
So when I see, recently I just saw this. It was this couple, and you know, mayonnaise has been associated with white people. I don't know if you know this. So there was this couple at a hockey game. Obviously, the whitest of the whitest games.
Best game to watch live. Have you been to a hockey game?
I wouldn't mind going live because I heard
Live's
they fuck each
awesome.
other up. Yeah,
Best,
it's but watching it on TV, I was like,
it's awful to watch
I
on
might
TV
as well
because you
watch
can't
golf.
trace the puck. But anyway,
yeah, exactly.
back to it.
Like we see the slap shot, like what the fuck happened? Did he catch it?
Right, it's just a blur,
Yeah.
and you're like guys skating.
And sometimes the camera doesn't catch it. But
You see it all live. Though.
so
anyway,
it's this white couple. Guy has fries, and this woman has this big ass jar, and you can't tell what it is at first, but he realizes it's mayonnaise. She has a huge spoon. She is literally eating mayonnaise out of this jar at a fucking game, and the guy's dipping his fries in mayonnaise. And I know some places they dip their fries in mayonnaise, but I thought it was like a mixture of ketchup and mayonnaise. I know that's how like the fucking McDonald's sauce is made, like ketchup, mayonnaise, and some relish or some shit. Yeah. But she is literally just like, and it's funny because they put them on like the not the kiss cam, but just like they put the camera on it, and she was like, and she literally goes, huh? Somebody's watching me? And it's a fucking jar of mayonnaise. And I'm like, all right, I was like, come on.
White
now.
people would shake their heads at that too.
Exactly.
It's kind of like your Popeyes thing because it's like that's the white trashest fucking thing you can do.
And she was
it's like
kind of cute.
It's like
she wasn't even like an ugly,
it's like
toothless motherfucker.
It's like
She
the
was
Chris
cute.
Rock bit where he's like sitting in the trailer park, listening to John Hookamellicam records, eating mayonnaise sandwiches. So
Yes,
you know
yes.
we know about the mayonnaise sandwiches, and
But you know
I had
what?
a buddy in high school who was trying to bulk up for football.
Eat
He
mayonnaise
put
sandwiches.
mayonnaise on everything. He would dunk chicken nuggets in mayonnaise, French fries in mayonnaise. He would literally, you know how like
Why
the
don't you just eat more
cafeteria
bread?
trays were all like split up. He would put one just filled with mayonnaise and dunk whatever he was eating into mayonnaise. But
Who
anyway,
told him that that's how you bulk up?
I mean, he gained some weight.
Yeah, he
When you're
probably-
that young, it's hard to put on some size. You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
he probably clogged up his arteries like a motherfucker
Yeah, you know.
too.
But,
Fucking 17-year-old with goddamn diabetes and hypertension and fucking high cholesterol.
anyway, you hit on mayonnaise.
Oh, so mayonnaise. Obviously, racism is always one. When you see a white person doing something, and
I'm writing this down. White people mayonnaise.
you should. Oh, it was one, and this is an older video, but I always liked it because it was just like this. It's kind of, I want to say Jack. He was just like this real stocky white guy talking shit inside of a restaurant.
This is
And-
like a thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's talking shit, and he's like, blah, blah, fuck you, or whatever. And then, like, this black guy just walking like, hey, man, chill out. And he pushes him hard as shit. Push him on the ground, pretty much. And he's like, you too, nigger. And I was like, he's like, you want something? You want? So, but it kind of, it bites my ass, because then they're like, sir, you got to leave. You know, people, everybody's like, oh, no, get out of here. Get out of here. And it's so funny, because when white people like notice racism, they do this weird thing where they're like, no, that's unacceptable. Get out of here.
So
get out of here.
So
sir.
wait, you don't like that they were like that? Is
No, no.
is that the point of what
It's-
you're getting at right now?
it's
What
just
was the
funny.
bad part?
No, so
Besides
the
the
guy being
obvious.
racist, yeah. But it's just funny how like sometimes white people can be like a fucking mob about certain things, but then it was like racism. I'm like, oh no, that's not right. Just get out of here, sir. Please. It gets so fucking nice. I'm like, No, yell at them like Kaepernick or some shit. Like, what are you doing?
So you shake your head at that when they're like the people are like
I mean,
almost overcompensating.
Yeah, it's like
right.
Oh no, we're not all like that. It's just him. Come on,
They'll say that too.
Yeah,
I would say that like that guy was a dick.
But he ends up actually getting arrested because they go outside. He's screaming across the street. Yeah, fuck you, fuck you. N-word, da da da. What you want to do?
Well, you already said it like 6 times, and you are black, so you can get away with it.
But it was funny because he's like, yeah, fuck you, and whatever. And what he doesn't see is a cop walking up who sees how he's acting, like sees everything. Although he's recording.
White cop or black cop?
White cop.
Okay.
And it's funny because he's like, yeah, fuck you, nigga, whatever. Ah, you want this? And he sees cop. He's like, oh, my bad. It's amazing how he just becomes the biggest wimp when he sees the cop. But he's like, oh, no, sorry, officer. No, I respect the law. I'm sorry. And it's funny, the cop's like, no. Turn around. Hands behind your back. You're going to jail, like, because he's drunk, he's belligerent, he's threatening people, But it's just funny because I'm like, you know how much he had to do to get arrested? Like, they would have called the cops on my black ass the moment I had an issue inside the goddamn restaurant. I wouldn't have made it outside before the cops were coming. They would have been at the goddamn door. My luck, they would have been sitting out eating in the goddamn booth next over to me or something.
All right, so I put down mayonnaise.
Racism.
Overcompensating for racism.
Oh, wait, no. Well, racism and overcompensating.
Racism's in general. I mean, come on, you can't use that as a card.
Yeah.
I mean, you're shaking your head at that, obviously.
Here's
but
one,
I mean,
it's
more of a thing that it's something that they do, white people do. And
Here's an old.
It's like a Keyshawn Johnson. Come on, man.
It's an oldie but goodie.
Come on, man.
And I don't know if you do this, Steve, because I know you have a dog.
I don't put peanut butter on my nuts. If that's where this is going.
You made me hit that, by the way.
I know. I seen it.
No. The French kissing that happens with dogs.
Now,
between white people.
I don't do that, but my dog will always somehow like get up in my face and I'm talking, like say I'm talking to you and my tongue goes in my mouth. It's like that. You ever see that YouTube video of the black reporter who the fly?
Oh, he's goddamn like, podunk motherfucking time. Get the fuck out of here. Like that shit.
He's like super proper. He's using this white
guy. Oh, this is Tom Berenger here at News 8. Get the motherfucker.
Yeah, that is the funniest
swatting
shit.
around.
He's like, this goddamn backwoods ass shit. I need to get the fuck out of here. Like that
get
shit.
the fuck out of here. I heard that was fake, but I don't want to believe it. Yeah, I heard it. I know, right?
That's funny as shit, because it's older, too. It's not, I was like, for it to be fake, I was like, he would have had to, I mean, we're talking about something that happened, like, looked like in the 90s.
Dude, that was the best thing ever.
But that is one thing that I'm constantly scratching my head, because it's like, literally, like, I have seen white people, like, I've literally seen
I know.
on camera where white
YouTube
like,
it.
Mouth open, just letting the dog lick in their mouth. I'm like, and just in general, we're like, oh, baby. Like, I have 2 cats, right? And my mom has a big 100-pound Labrador pit bull mix, right? Beautiful dog. Beautiful fucking dog.
Right.
Love him to death. Guess what I've never let him do? Guess what he won't do?
Put a tongue in your mouth?
You goddamn right. Doesn't even come close to our face. He's been, look, whoever had him first as a puppy allowed that shit, and he came in.
Well, that's... So
and we know it was white.
That's what I was telling you earlier. When I eat, my dog wants to get right in my face to smell what I ate. Oh, no. Because, like, if I didn't give her any.
Listen.
So I'm at my desk trying to work, and she's like, she'll be like, and, like, starts licking me, and I'm like, get the fuck in. Like, when I say, get the, get out, and tongue, I'm like, ah! Ah!
I mean, that's kind of funny. But it's also very nice. Now, here's the problem. So my mom got to curb that shit within, like, 2 weeks of having a dog. So he came over, and whoever had him.
She cut the fucking tongue off?
Nah.
I'm just kidding.
He just got bowled in the chest enough and put in his goddamn crate enough times. He was like, okay, we won't be doing that with this family.
Not like, the time or the place.
No. So I'm always bad because I feed him scraps and shit, and he'll follow me. He follows me around like a puppy. He's old. He's like 8 years old now. He's got gray all over him.
Right.
I still love him to death. But one thing, I literally could do this. Put his head next to my head.
Right.
We'll do absolutely nothing. Because he has been taught from day one that shit does not fucking fly here. He tried it with my mom. It's a couple times he got my little brother because he would literally overpower my little brother, and it was funny because he would lick his face though, and my little brother would, no, it was funny,
right?
But it wasn't like I'm like, no, fuck out of here.
He was molesting him.
Yeah, but it was funny because we were allowed to have it. Like, get him, get him, get him. It's like, no, stop him. Like, nope, it's still funny, goddammit.
This is how it happens.
Yeah, but I'm telling. But what I've seen is because I watch a lot of rescue videos on Facebook because I really like animals. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want a dog because we don't have enough space for it right now. But if I did have enough space, I would have a dog or something like that.
So is this white people and animals in general, or is it
no,
like
dogs
just
for sure.
dogs licking
I
the
mean,
mouth?
I, they don't really like cats. Don't fuck with you like that. They don't do that. Like I have 2 cats.
No, cats fucking assholes. They don't even.
I love cats, man. You know why I love cats?
That's
Because I have a cat who acts like a puppy.
you could be the first Black James Bond villain.
Just have to-
Yes, kitty,
not that
kitty,
ugly.
kitty.
They always had the fucking ball one. I'm like, man, if you don't get this goddamn fucking beast away
No,
from
sometimes
me.
they had that white fluffy one.
True. But you don't want all that goddamn white on you. either.
Uh.
My cat shared enough too anyway. But anyway, yeah, white people letting and
Animals.
encouraging.
Lick them out. Yeah, I know what
Not
you're talking
animals.
about. You can
It's
YouTube
just
that.
dogs.
Right.
It's just
You're right.
dogs.
You're right.
I was like, because I don't know too many other animals that'll actually do that.
I got you for 3. I was thinking about what else you got.
I mean, there's a lot.
Shake your head.
You said shake my head.
Yeah. Something white people do that you just like. It makes you.
Wear shorts
it
in,
makes
in
you
the snow
racist.
up here.
I've seen black people do that though too.
See, I've seen a couple, but I've primarily seen white people do
And
it.
it's always a big, heavy set guy, and he
It's
wears.
always
he
it's
wears,
always
He
a
wears
bigger
mesh
white guy.
shorts.
Yeah, like he'll be like we call them hooping shorts, but yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, and he had the shorts on.
He
And
always
I've
like-
even seen the sandals, like sandals and the shit. Like it was a white guy I used to work with. He'd come in, he would have a fucking winter coat on with shorts and like sandals or slippers. I'm like, so what the fuck is the point of that? Well, shouldn't it be? I don't even say the opposite. Your coat should go all the way down to your feet. If that's the case.
Right.
So I mean that's one, but that's an oldie. But those 3, like I said, racism, overcompensating for racism. Sometimes it can be like the funniest
They're all
thing.
weak hitters, man. I thought you were gonna have something solid for me.
I
that
mean,
that
so
white people even do to black people, or white people
well,
just
see,
do
it's gonna it would
that
tie,
you
it would
guys
tie,
just
it would
are
tie
like
into more
fucking
like
white people,
policial stuff.
fucking white people.
Okay, well,
Why don't they fucking get it? Fucking white people, they're
okay,
just fucking
here you
idiots.
go. Kaepernick and what he was actually talking about. What he actually talked about, nobody gave a fuck about. They just said, "Goddamn, disrespecting the flag and the veterans." It's like he said, "I got this from a veteran. He told me to do this because this is how they honor their fallen." And then on top of that, he was like, "I did do the national anthem." I forgot what he said. People pay attention, some shit like that. Because he used to sit down, and
Right.
then a Green Beret said, "Hey, don't sit down, man. At least take a knee."
Okay.
White Green Beret told him to sit down, and I mean, I sit
Told
down,
him
take a knee, take a knee, yeah. So, but then they were like, "It's just about the flag and disrespecting guns." He's like, "No, this is about police brutality. Whether you believe it or not, that's what he said." But white people saw what they wanted to see, heard what they wanted to hear, and reacted with what they wanted to react with.
That's a touchy subject, and we hit on it last time. But it's because that what's happening in the country, or let's say just Trump, and we'll talk about that eventually. But it's not what happens. It's what it represents as a whole, right? And as white or black, that flag represents you, especially in a day and age where you're trying to influence the younger generation. Come on, he's as a big, you're in the limelight at that time, and your
I
kids
mean,
are watching
football.
it, right?
Right.
So in a sense, like that
But-
kid's just automatically gonna think and hear whatever he hears in the news. Let me finish,
Okay.
and he's gonna be like, it's just like you're disrespecting the country, and it's like, listen. The only reason your dumbass gets to go out there and play football and make all this money is because it's fucking country. You want to go play soccer because you're good at soccer, get your ass over to fucking England. You know what I mean? Like, or Africa, unfubu wata. I don't give a shit.
Well,
But you know what I'm
worldwide,
saying? It's
soccer
like,
is number one.
listen, you get to play fucking football.
Well, no,
And
so-
I get it, you hate police brutality, but I guarantee you there's a lot better ways you can do than be like, shun the flag, fuck
Well,
it.
see, now here's what I did, and I think we talked about this a while ago. It's literally, it's like you can't, no matter what.
Because you're
happens-
also, like, There's a lot of black soldiers too, and you're shitting all over them
But
when
see-
you
but
put on
then-
the knee.
But he wasn't. That's the thing.
You-
See, the
it's
knee.
not what he meant; it's what he portrayed.
But no, that's what he betrayed was exactly what he meant. What was said about him
No.
is what I'm telling you. Okay, put it this way: what they said he was doing versus what he said he was doing. That's the
no,
problem.
it didn't matter.
I'm telling you.
Listen,
But see, that's the thing.
but
so
no.
wait, hold on. This is the.
All right, I'm
this
gonna let
is
you
the-
go. I'm gonna
this
let you
is-
go. But
this
I'm
is-
coming back.
this
I'm
is-
coming back.
But listen, this is the black people shake their head at white people thing.
Okay, let's hear
Because
it.
we're listening. We're like, okay, so he silently protested, right? He didn't really say nothing. He wasn't yelling. He didn't hold up a burning flag. He didn't shit on the flag. He didn't step on it. He took a knee like a Green Beret who was in the military at the time. I don't know if he still is. Active military person told him. Now, whether you're with that guy or not, that's cool. It's like, but what it looks like to black people is, oh yeah, you can protest. Nah, not that way. Like, but you said we can protest, especially if we're being silent. Like, you don't like when we're yelling and burning shit down, and he's calmly doing it. And they're like, but nah, I don't like that. Like, yeah, you wouldn't pay attention if it was any other way. Like, if he just was silent in the locker room or some shit, or if he fucking did it outside of the room, there's not gonna be any cameras watching him. There's not gonna be the cameras saying that.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's an element of needing to use like TV and kind of like propaganda type stuff to get noticed. It's like, so if you have a problem, okay, the notice like the way I guess the TV or whatever, but at the same time, like I said, it's literally telling black people again, like, well, you protested, you fucked shit up, and you did this and that. I'm like, okay, well, you silently took a knee and doing the national anthem. God damn it, you better not do that either. Like, but you just said we couldn't do the other one.
I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. It's like okay.
See, this is why we do this.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's like, okay, yeah, we know you don't like it, but would you pay attention if he did it outside of work at a place that didn't make sense, that there was no cameras,
Well,
nobody's going to pay attention? I guarantee you nobody would have paid attention if he would have did it anywhere else. Only way they would have paid attention is if he went on a shitload of shows and said that. But
So
nobody was looking, and it's funny because a bunch of shows weren't going to ask Kaepernick to come on just for being Kaepernick.
they did it if you asked.
Nah, because he was a backup quarterback.
Nah, but he was hot at one point in time,
But I'm
and
saying,
he became a backup quarterback because of that.
but see, he became back quarterback. He diminished.
Right, he was diminishing, but he would still definitely be somewhere. But
Yeah, but see, I understand that part too, and it's kind of a little off. But I understand the business side of that. So, and then it doesn't make sense to me because that's like right now at my job, right? If my job were to let me go and put me in limbo, because he never got fired, he just didn't get rehired. You get what I'm saying? He never
Right,
got fired. He just didn't get rehired.
he got laid off.
Yeah,
in a sense.
he got laid off.
Nobody
but he was
wants him.
supposed to. But exactly, and
because they don't want the drama.
I understand. See, now if that's what I'm saying, I understand the league actually doing that more than the people outside the league being upset. Because I can understand as a fucking billionaire, why the fuck you think I'm gonna mess up millions of dollars, especially of ticket holders coming to see this game because you have a problem? You can have all the problems you want, sir. I'm not losing money behind it.
Right.
And I'm not gonna bring you in. I'm not gonna bring the circus in especially if you got a good team and a good thing going. Like, no, I'm not bringing you in here and fucking up what we got on some social issues. Whether I agree with you or not, I can agree with you. I can 100% agree with you. Like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up what happened here and here and here. It's like, but I'm not gonna fuck up the chemistry in this locker room. I'm not gonna fuck up the money that's coming in to this organization
Right.
behind you. And then on top of that, I'm like, why would you? I wouldn't want to work. If I'm gonna sue my boss, I'm not suing you to get my job back. I'm suing you to get as much fucking money as possible so I never have to work for you again.
Right.
And that's what I'm gonna do. Now that's me personally. Now the head scratcher, like I said, is telling people, like, you get mad because he's silently protesting, you telling us how to protest, you say we're protesting wrong. Which one is it? Is it just because we're black? Or it's because the flag, you say it's flag, but then the white guy told him to do this, but you don't agree with the white guy? It's like, it's literally a bunch of things in there where it's like, it's a head scratcher. That's where, like, well, wait a second. You just said don't tear up shit. Ain't nobody tear up shit. And
Right.
it's silent. Ain't nobody cussing, nobody screaming.
Let's. Here we go again.
Nah, it's not a crap, it's my ass going down.
It's. Let me get this out because I know you're gonna want to chime in and interrupt my.
Hold on. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I got a mouth guard over there.
Nah,
Put it in your mouth. Don't break your teeth.
I'm gonna drink this while you do it.
So, it's almost like a double entendre, right? Okay, because you want to protest. I understand why. Police, okay, and you know how my mind thinks. You know, when we work together, I have a business sense mind. I'm not a guru. That's just how I think. Everything's about money, how it's made, how it affects this, that, and the other.
Would you be mad if I stood up right now?
Huh?
Would you be mad if I stood up?
No, stand up, man. But here he goes. Yeah.
It's just
Out of shape, black guy.
you
Oh,
did
you
not
on your
do
knees
that.
in front of the white guy. Hey, man. Hey, man, I live my wall upstairs. Ain't no bills. That's weird. Anyway, my point is,
I'm on the bed. Go ahead.
if you're going to kneel, okay, you're affecting how kids see you as a superstar, as a role model. And I understand maybe in his mind that was a good idea, but in people who are conservative, lots of soldiers, lots of Marines,
A lot of cops.
cops,
No,
I'm not
they're
even caring about them
No, I'm
because
saying they're usually conservative. Is what I'm saying.
right,
Yeah.
but it was directed towards them as disrespectful. But it was
Well, yeah,
more or
that was
less
the one that was
the
probably-
guys who are saying, "Hey, I fought for this country. My best friend died, and you're kneeling right now.
Or I got
Get the
fucked up.
fuck up.
Yeah.
Get the fuck up." That's what's going through his head. And again, I understand why he's doing it. The police brutality thing. He grew the fro out, this, that, and the other. But it was like,
Well, he had
there
the
are
fro under the
so
braids,
many
but-
other organizations. What if he just donated money to the Black Panther Party? Or what if he just went on different TV shows that did not affect the organization as a whole? But when he created drama in the situation, and what happened was what happened. He affected people's wallets. Oh, okay. Nobody wants to buy, 49ers propaganda. I mean, I just told you about how the owner of Gander Outdoor
No, that
said,
was stupid.
fuck Trump people,
That was
and now all of a
stupid.
sudden he's closing up shop
damn
on
well
Gander
that's his
Outdoor
people, yeah.
because who's buying your shit?
See,
right?
but you got to know who your customer is.
But San Francisco,
that's a liberal ass.
that's a
city.
liberal ass city, but there's a lot of white people who grew up on, who was it?
What's your name?
Sanders and
Sanders. Who's that?
who was a
Bernie
running back
Sanders?
and Jerry Rice
Oh,
in the '90s when San
you
Fran was
talking about
hot.
Jerry Rice.
Deion Sanders was Deion Sanders. No,
No,
Deion
Deion
was
Sanders was on there for a second. He was with the 49ers.
he was defensive back.
And then he went to.
They had a good running
yeah,
back too,
Falcons,
and they also had
49ers.
Steve Young.
Yeah.
But a lot of those legacy guys,
Mm-hmm.
white guys, right? Across state, my buddy's
Mm-hmm.
dad, very pro Niners fan. I know a lot of people Niners. Those people see that shit, they're like,
especially a lot of
burn my Niners jersey.
A lot of ticket
Right?
holders, yeah,
And ticket
season
holders.
tickets,
So when you start affecting, and it,
bottom
let's
line.
be honest, it's the bottom line, the business,
yeah.
it's negative, right? And they're gonna boot you. And my point is he could still be in the NFL is if he just would have went about it a different way. I think there would have been a better way. I understand why he did it.
Mm-hmm.
The soldiers, a lot of the soldiers will never understand why he did it.
A lot of them do.
But a
though.
lot of them agree with him
Yeah, yeah.
and just think that he should have done it a different way because they don't appreciate disrespecting the flag.
Mm.
Because the flag in the first place is the reason he gets to do what he does
Mm.
in this nation. I'm not saying we're the greatest. Well, we are the greatest nation in the world, but we might not have the greatest principles or we got a lot of bad history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're like a bad relationship trying to mend back together over a period of time, but we can't forget the past. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh,
like,
well,
you remember that time you lied to me? Yeah, I mean, I did that. Yeah, you remember that time you cheated on me? I mean, that happened too. And he's trying to make it right.
Hold
you know?
on. Can I got another head scratcher for you.
I can't hear you. Got to come back.
I got another head scratcher for you too. But I don't know if you're done yet. But go ahead.
I'm done. That's all I got.
Okay, so another head scratcher I have that, and I know we've actually went on this is when it comes to slavery, racism, things of that nature, Jim Crow, stuff like that, right? Black people are constantly told that we should forget that we should move on.
I said that in the last podcast.
I know, yeah. So, wait, about what I'm saying?
Well, no, about like, how do you ever get past it unless you forget about it?
But see, that's the thing. You don't get past it by forgetting about it.
I agree.
You get past it by forgiving it. See, but here's the problem. So, I got no problem with, like, if me and you have a situation, right?
How much longer till you can sit down?
I'm sorry, man. My ass is going down. Yeah, I'm a big boy. So, I don't have an issue with, I won't say necessarily forgetting, but like forgiving. But the problem is, you can't tell me how long it's going to take me to forgive. Like, and it goes back to your example of using a girlfriend, right? So, if you decide to have this girl that you know you've cheated on, maybe you beat her, some shit.
Right.
It's just saying you were a piece of shit to her, right? Just a huge piece of shit. You know you were a piece of shit to her. Obviously, you're going to want her to focus on nothing but the future.
Right.
Like, focus on what's happening right now. No. Don't think about, but it's like, at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm not going to think about 5 years ago, but like 5 years ago when you fucking stomped me unconscious, right? But if this last Tuesday or next Tuesday you slap the shit out of me,
Right.
it's in the same vein of, oh shit, this is exactly what happened. So, but as you see, what I'm saying is like, that being stomped unconscious, fucking horrible. Oh my God, what are you doing? Slapping the shit out of somebody. Not as bad, right? That's basically what's happened now. It's like, it used to be a fucking boot stomp to black people's face. A lot of them I noticed, but you know, everybody focuses on black and white here.
Right.
So it was a boot stomp to the face, head, killed some people, whatever, to black people. But now it's like a slap in the face, right? So,
Right.
But at the same time, and I'm from Texas, I'm told to remember the Alamo. That's literally, there was.
David Crockett,
So,
king of the
what-
wild frontier,
But that's what I'm saying.
born on the mountaintop, Tennessee.
I don't
That's all I
even
know.
I was
Anyway,
like, but I'm told to remember the Alamo, remember 9/11, remember the fucking Civil War, remember like all these.
forget
historic-
racism.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Didn't happen.
That's the problem. So it's like, God damn it, man. And it's funny because this shit will happen. I'll never forget. It's like Juneteenth. So Juneteenth is actually when slaves found out that they were free, which was a few years, I believe it was 3, maybe 4 years, or maybe a little bit more, after the Emancipation Proclamation, when the slaves in the South found out they were free.
Right.
And we call it Juneteenth. So on July 4th, most people don't celebrate. Like, if you're black people from the South, you don't really celebrate
We're
July
going to say
4th.
that for another day.
No, but I'm saying, but I'm using that as, like, you want us to celebrate all these other things. Like, the July 4th, we should celebrate Independence Day. Oh, man, awesome, let's do this. It's like, yeah, we were still slaves. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where it's like,
Right, but you weren't.
what?
You weren't a slave.
You talking about me, personally?
Personally.
Oh, no. I'm not. Well,
So it's like,
but here's
do
the
we
thing.
want to have all these different national holidays?
No.
It's like we're
I'm not
supposed to
saying-
be united.
I'm not saying have
Right.
different holidays. I'm saying at the same time you're telling me to forget this. You're telling me to remember this.
I get it.
So
I
that's
get
one.
it.
That's the head scratcher where it's like, whoa, wait, but at
That's
that
a
time,
good point. That's a very good point.
Because it's like at the same time, it's like, wait,
It's like, hey, don't forget about Independence Day, but that whole racism thing where you weren't free then.
yeah, fuck that. And see, that's what I'm saying. It's
I
like,
get it. That makes sense. It
it's
clicks.
sweeping
It
under-
clicks when you say it like that.
because it's like sweeping.
I
under the
never
rug.
thought of it like that. I'm honest. I never thought of
really?
it like that.
I just want to know. I hope you're not bullshitting me because that.
No, I swear to God. If anything, that'd be one of the things I put under what bothered me about black people. Like,
But
well,
no,
why
but
can't you
that's-
just have words of lie? you know?
But see, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, and it's just one of those things where
This
it's
is
like,
why we do this.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. So that's like a big, that's still a huge issue that we have right now, right?
Right.
It's like, I get it. Nobody wants to think about horrible shit that they've done.
Right.
And I'm not saying you personally, I'm talking about America. America has had a horrible habit of telling certain people to forget while telling other people to remember.
Right.
And unfortunately, America's predominantly white, right? So that's going to be
Was
the people.
like 97% or something.
Nah, not anymore. You guys are going
Well, you guys are at 13%, so therefore we
I
can't be
will tell you
97.
that is one fucking thing I've always wondered how the fuck we're still at 13, 14% over the last 100 goddamn years, and the Mexicans are fucking jumping like crazy.
You're not. You guys just never fill out the census and stamp it and put it back in the mail.
I don't think that's true. It might be true.
I'm fucking
I've
with
never.
you.
I don't even know they do that no more. I don't even get a census
I
thing.
think they gave up on it.
Maybe they did, but I'm just saying. So that right there is a head scratcher because it's like, okay,
I brought that up in the last podcast because like, why did they just forget
but
about
we
it? Why did they
jumped
forget
off.
about it? We jumped off the
Yeah.
rails, but
this time we actually stayed on it.
it is a good thing that you brought it back up because it's one of those things where I'm like, hey, listen, if this is ever going to go away, you're going to have to forget about it. And I understand you don't forget about it, but the thing is,
We can
here's
forgive.
my problem.
Black people are really forgiving. I know you don't believe it. We are probably one of the most forgiving races ever. Because think about it. If the opposite were to happen to white people, think about it. We had the fucking goddamn, what's it, like Independence Day, all that, right?
Mhm.
All the war and everything that went around there, fighting the British and everything, right? That was over what? Taxation and fucking religious freedom and just freedom in general. From like, man, we don't fucking like these guys. Had nothing to do with slavery.
Well, it's
had nothing-
taxation without representation.
Exactly. So, but it had nothing to do with like death, murder, selling this, being sold off. None of that
Right.
shit, right? But a whole goddamn historic war behind this. Lost how many countless people, right? One, and was like, hey man, we're free. But that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, wait a second, hold on. How's this cool, but this isn't cool? You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's basically what I'm saying is like, if the shoe were on the other foot, how long would that have lasted? We would be the horrible bad guys like fucking British, Europe, all that is, right? And we talk shit about them, you fucking pussies, all this. We saved your ass in these wars, whatever. It's like, but at the same time, we don't.
Right.
There's never been a huge all-black revolution where we just went around murdering white people and fighting the government. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say black people are actually something to forgive. May not talk like we are. We may not talk like, and every now and then, you might see some videos with fucking some random white person, whatever. But in the general, you got to think about it like, no huge fucking wars against black and white or whatever. None of that. It's like, it's pretty forgiving people. Indians. Native Americans, probably the most forgiving. Fucking almost wiped them off the map.
You can't get over Redskins, though.
Goddamn asshole.
Just give us the football team, man. It's been around for a while. We like it.
So that was some of the head scratches.
But see, it kind of goes back to that, though.
What's that?
If somebody was walking around with the Caucasian shirt
Mm-hmm.
and I saw a black guy wearing a Caucasian shirt, I'd be like, fuck yeah.
But that's because you're... Like,
You know what I mean?
That's your... you
So if
find it
I was a
funny?
Redskin, I'd be like, fuck yeah. That's my team.
I don't know about that. I can't... See, I can't talk on the Redskins because I'm not Native American.
You know damn well if there was a black shirt that said
Negroes.
Negroes
But he used to
and a
say
black
that.
guy,
He used to say the fucking Negro leagues.
I would have that shirt. I would.
I was about to tell you something, but I don't want you to wear it.
Oh, you got to now.
No, I'm gonna fucking tell you. I mean, it's not a secret. It's the Negro Leagues baseball.
Well, yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's it. I mean, it
I've seen the movie 42.
stupid. I mean, it was a whole goddamn thing. It was actually getting pretty big, and then the MLB was like, well, "Wait a second, we don't need this competition. Let a few of them.
You guys are way too good.
Yeah, they were like, let a few of them in, and that's basically what happened. That's the same thing happened. I mean, it wasn't predominantly black, but like, was it like the NBA versus the ABA? I mean, it used to be fucking, bored white guys.
I can't wait to get Naeem on this show because I get a guy who's 40s,
Yeah,
a little bit older than us,
Yeah.
but not old enough to be. So he was in that hardcore like 80s,
Yeah.
90s,
Yeah,
early
yeah,
90s.
see, he
you know
grew
what I
up-
mean?
Yeah, he grew. He actually was like a preteen teenager in the 80s and 90s, and then an adult in the thousands.
Yeah, like straight out of Compton. The song that we were banging out to
Yeah.
was like what we were 8,
Was-
9, 10.
Nah, I ain't even hear.
He was
straight.
21.
Exactly. I didn't hear 8 straight
No
out of
offense,
Compton.
Naeem. You still look like you're 30.
Yeah,
Black don't crack.
but I think he's. I mean, not him, but I'm saying, it was like I didn't hear Strata Compton for years. I mean, I heard the song, but I didn't even know what the fuck it was. Like I saw the video and everything. I was like, who the fuck are these guys?
I just knew because of Ice Cube, and doing I liked
Ice Cube
I
shit?
liked I liked Ice Cube shit. And I was like, oh,
Everybody
he's part of
loved Ice
NW.
Cube.
He's part of NWA thing. Who's this? And I knew who Dr. Dre was, but I was like, they were in a band together. Well, let's listen to it. And it's like, fuck the police coming. I'm like, whoa, that's bad.
But at the time,
But to be hit hard.
exactly. But like I tell you, at the time, I think they were using fucking L.A. L.A. legitimately had KKK members in their force. They used to hire out of that. Like it's a one guy. I forgot who the name is.
Well, so the main one is the guy from the O.J. Simpson trial that did planted the glove.
Him, yeah. I
he's
forgot
a
what
big
his
one.
fucking,
It
but he
don't-
was a part of
It don't matter.
The guy who they used to hire that. They was fucked up, and then they used to use battering rams to knock down whole fucking fronts of a house because they thought a drug dealer was in there. And maybe it was, but it's like a few. Or you could talk about how fucking cocaine versus crack. It's the same fucking drug.
We'll get to that.
I don't
So
think we
anything
will.
else you got on Forget
Oh man, we were not gonna get to that. It's so late.
Forget Racism. All right, we're just gonna move on to
That's your other one.
yeah, the other one. Thank you. What black people shake their heads at about white people, and
Did we
now
even get
I'm
to
gonna
white
do
people?
what white people shake their heads
We
at.
got a couple of
against
them.
black
Go
people.
ahead, and we'll talk about it.
I'm gonna need your I'm gonna need your the headphone jack. So
Oh Lord.
yeah, you're gonna have to mute that quick.
Oh, it's good. Once you take it out, it's
I got a surprise for you though.
I don't think you do. I think you have a problem I might have to explain to other people. That's what I think you got right now.
You might, but it's got a good segue. It's got a real good segue.
So tells me it doesn't.
Oh, it does. It's got to
I was like, that sounds like a
get
commercial.
past that.
Yeah.
It is a commercial. I'm sorry. For all you, I don't pay for the YouTube, no commercial free. All my money's spent up in this shit. That makes me no money, so
That's so true.
it's very true.
You gotta get the people up and get the ads in, baby.
I got something special for you, Mikey.
Oh,
Been
my
waiting all day
God.
for this, baby. Goddamn bootios! You're gonna have a hard time explaining this one.
I fucking hate you so much. We had a good day. We were shooting guns. We were agreeing on a lot of shit. That was it. Suck it in a little bit.
A little tight. Said it was an extra large. It's kind of extra large in some places, but it's real schmeedy me.
So come on and embrace the new day. Come on and live life a new way. Don't stop.
Got it on backwards.
See, I will tell you the only. Right. I've never heard this song. Sit down, man. We gotta keep going with the show. Fucking late as shit. I told my wife I had to
Goddamn
come home a long
bootios.
time ago. Oh my God.
Oh, man.
So for
I've been
all those
waiting
who
for
don't
that
know,
all
What he's
day.
wearing is what's the actual
the name of the wrestlers are New Day.
New Day?
New Day.
Yeah,
Three
so
black guys.
I don't fucking watch wrestling, but I have seen
Here
these
you
guys.
can tag back into your to your music over there.
It's like, but he bought this shirt. He showed me, and he was dying to show it. And these wrestlers have literally a cereal called Bootios, and he bought the shirt
Goddamn
for it.
bootios.
So, as much as I want to be like, that's fucked up, they literally put this shit out themselves.
They did.
And
And
you-
you know
hey.
what's funny is a lot of their fans were white.
It's wrestling, of course.
Right, of course. So what they started out as is like the bad guys and became the good
Is
guys.
that why you bought fucking milk now?
Yeah, that's why I brought milk down here. We're gonna have some bootios because You know what? I heard reviews on Amazon. They're pretty good. And you know what pissed me off?
What?
You showed up with that goddamn pink shirt on, and I was like, I knew this was coming. Where I was gonna put this baby blue shirt on. I'm like, we look like goddamn Easter eggs, or like we're going to a
mine
baby
says-
reveal or something.
Mine says "Stay Golden" and it has the Golden Girls on it though.
Yeah, so you got white people in your chest. I got black people in my chest. It's a love, baby. It's a love thing. But we really are gonna try this because
It's just I guarantee it's just fucking
shitty Lucky Charms. Yeah, look at it.
I don't even know if it's shitty. I don't like Lucky Charms.
Listen, you ain't gotta eat a lot of it. You just try a bite, throw it away.
You give me all the. Oh, okay. you give
Yeah,
me
I'm
some.
trying to give you the marshmallows. You know what I
Alright.
mean? I don't want to get called being racist because I didn't get no marshmallows.
What the fuck are these?
It's fucking cereal, man.
No, I'm saying what the. Oh my god, that's exactly what the fuck this is. It's just Lucky Charms. It's fucking Lucky Charms. I'm not doing that right
Oh,
now.
I'm doing it.
You can do it. I'm gonna let you do it. I said I gotta keep my food.
I'm lactose intolerant.
You know a lot of black people are actually. I swear to God.
I'm surprised I haven't heard anything like, the white man put bad stuff in the milk so we can't drink it.
I mean, if
Here
you
it
want to
comes.
go Hotep Jesus.
Oh, Tep Jesus. He see now you looked into him.
Oh no, I know who he is. I've been to who he is. I mean, that's a whole thing. That's a whole movement. Like those people who
Just
like
one more
5%.
time.
I'm gonna eat his hands.
Bootios. I'm gonna make that the.
You're gonna make it hard for me to explain this to other people. Yeah, this is just Lucky Charms.
Yeah, this might get us kicked off YouTube, right here.
I mean, not really. See, if you had made this yourself, it would get you kicked off.
Oh yeah.
But this is
That's a
an
real
actual fucking thing. The fact that you're able to buy the shirt and the goddamn cereal, and then wait, and
You
what's
can
it-
buy this on Amazon.
and on top of that, you sent me
Oh, good.
it's Lucky Charms.
I like Bootio.
I like if you like Lucky Charms, you like Bootio. Such
He
a,
said it. You like Bootio. It's good.
my son will love this. My son and my daughter. Except I would never buy this in my fucking house. Oh God.
You know what?
No, I don't. Oh shit, I dropped one.
You didn't hit play on the music, but this segues into where I was going. Segues
You got
exactly
more
where I was
for me?
going. Oh yeah.
Well, it's just Bootios. It's the same thing.
I know, but I just like holding the box from the camera. This is real. This is real. This exists.
From the wrestling group New Day.
Bootios. New Day.
Yeah. I don't
So-
watch wrestling, so I only know their faces. I just know the guy with the little dread things because he was on a couple TV shows because they won. I guess they won the actual.
Well, the guy in the middle, funny YouTube video, you can see him holding
eating a gigantic bowl of booty.
gigantic bowl of Bootios, and he is on every steroid under
man,
the
that
sun
motherfucker big as
because he
shit.
is jacked.
Yeah, he big as shit. Matter of fact, the other guy who had the little dreads, he's fucking small as shit. He's probably as big as you. I was like, how the fuck is he in the goddamn WWE? Fuck it, WWF.
No, it's WWE actually.
No. It's the WWF. As long as I goddamn live, it will be WWF. Oh, no. They turned it to E because the world.
One of the guys' name's E. Shit, I know it said WWE on here somewhere.
No, I'm telling you.
Oh, I know what you're telling me.
I know it's WWE, but I do not respect it. It's
Oh, this came
WWF.
from Pittsburgh, PA. Distributed by PLB Sports.
Look at that. In your neighborhood.
Somebody look at this.
Look at this.
Cat drinking milk out the bowl.
You know, my wife loves that.
I love that too. So, anyway. There was 2 points about the Bootio.
Is this your head scratcher?
This is my head scratcher
I got
for,
nothing for you,
for
dog.
white people.
I got nothing for you.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know why the fuck they did this. I don't know.
First off,
Uh-huh.
I just got to bring the box up here one more time.
Just sit it down. Just sit down.
Oh,
I don't even want to look at the box. I knew you were gonna have it. I just knew
yeah,
you did.
I knew. You knew it was coming. I couldn't hide it. I was debated. I was like, you know what, I'm
I
going.
should have looked over there because I heard you knock some shit over earlier. And I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is over there?
Why is there clanking? There's clanking over there. So what went through my head was, in this was what rolled into my Popeyes thing.
Oh shit!
You
You
get
mean my
the
Popeyes thing.
yeah. Black people will say anything, but as soon as a white guy throws them some money, they're like, "Yeah, we'll do that shit." Like, oh, you want to make a cereal and put bootios on it? It's gonna make a bunch of white people more racist. All right, we'll do it. So, before I segue out of that, I gotta touch on the fact that if you do watch some of their YouTube videos, they come on and make fun of a bunch of hick-ass white people. My dog died, and all the whole white crowd's like, boo,
Was that what they did?
boo, and I got a new girlfriend, still had sex with my sister, and it's kind of funny. I don't get it. But again, that's when they were the bad guys, and then they became the good guys,
good guys
and then
now.
they started making the Bootio cereal and New Day,
So-
blah, blah, blah.
So when they became good, they started making bootios.
Yeah, yeah, and everybody's like, we like Bootios, and it was a thing. But my point is, you throw money at, and they will play a character. And how I preface that into the Popeye's chicken. There is no way that lady read that script and didn't think, that's racist as shit. No, I ain't going on the Popeye's chicken commercial. And she's like, we'll pay you $2 million. $2 million? Fuck that shit.
You know
yeah,
why?
Louisiana girl.
Because that's the lady who runs Popeyes is white, the president of the company.
Yeah, it's probably fucking the lady who makes good damn butter fucking cakes who
Oh,
call
you
the
talking
people
about,
the N-word.
Yeah.
You know.
Goddamn, what's her name?
Da-da, starts with a D.
Paula Dean.
Paula Dean. She probably owns
Oh, you say she
Popeye's
owns it?
chicken. Come on. Southern cooking my ass. It's all Southern stuff she makes.
That's pretty much true.
And then you bring Jerry Rice, one of the best the best
man.
wide receivers in the history of the
I was
NFL.
so mad about that shit.
He's like, I'm gonna run down the 50-yard line and catch a piece of chicken in my helmet. He's like, I ain't doing that. That's racist. They'll give you $5 million. You're like, all right, where's that helmet at? Where's that helmet at? He didn't read that script, knowing, oh, white people are gonna kill me on this.
I mean, black people.
Black people maybe too. I don't know, but
No,
white
ain't no
people,
maybe. White
you
people
know,
loved it.
you know that was like racial fuel for the white man. They're like pouring gas on the fire. Here is Jerry Rice, an idol of mine, Raiders fan. He joined the Raiders right before the end game. You know, I'm like, oh, and the next thing, 3 years later, he's fucking catching a goddamn, what was it?
It was-
Drumstick
No.
in his
I
helmet.
think it was the drum. The helmet had like a chicken holder or something stupid like that, and because the commercial only was shown a few times before they pulled it,
Right.
and
It was
like
terrible.
it was something like, I think either it was like a holder, like a mouthpiece thing or something that was connected to the helmet. Or something like where he could catch the chicken, like where somewhere you could put the chicken, but he decided to catch the chicken because he's Jerry Rice. It was horrible, man.
So I guess what I shake my head at, it aggravates the fuck out of me, is like racism. Wait, you gonna pay me how much? Yeah, okay, I'll do it. And you know it's racist as shit. Popeye's chicken commercial, prime example of that. Now I appreciate the fact that you're like, God damn it, you're making us look bad. Why are you doing the Popeye's chicken commercial? But come on, man.
Come on, man.
You know it.
That wasn't the first. He did another thing that really was stupid, and people didn't like him for. I can't remember what it was, but I remember seeing that Popeyes one and like, what in the other fuck are you doing? Like, I was like, I can understand. So it's broke people. I mean, you got the same people who like fucking.
Jerry
Put it
Rice
this
is
way.
not poor.
He was he might have fucked his money off.
No.
You never know. He might have fucked his money off.
Now, if you had O.J. Simpson out there catching a fucking piece of chicken in his goddamn helmet,
Well,
I'd
first
have been
of all-
like, you know what, you need the money.
No. OJ was like that before. OJ didn't fuck with black people. OJ started fucking with black people when he realized black people were on his side after he murdered those two white women. I mean, the two white people.
Where's my O.J. money?
Yeah.
Chris Rock
was
said
my
it best.
OJ money. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody had a horse in that game, and then
Man,
their
listen.
horse won, and
OJ was
nobody won.
OJ was black as shit.
That ruined
Let's
O.J.'s
start.
life.
What?
Regardless of whether he got guilty or not guilty, that ruined his life. Now he just says crazy ass shit on Twitter.
And guess what? I think he's probably getting paid for it now.
Yeah, what do you do? It's picking up for him. I mean, that's
He's got like millions of
all
followers.
you have to do is be crazy, and people pay you for something.
I mean, people want to see what OJ says, and he kind of is like, it's one of those things. It's like, OJ, you like murdered 2 people. We all know, right? And then you got the people who are like, he didn't murder them. I even heard somebody say that it was the son, like the son from his first marriage who murdered them. And I was like, yeah, I don't know.
I think it was OJ.
I was like, he used to beat her ass and everything.
The
like,
Jews.
It's not too far away from like normal primal rage where you find out that your wife is because they weren't together.
It's too real.
I was like, yeah, like she's fucking another dude, and you hate them, blah blah. You're mad. You got a knife, and he still was at the time where he was retired. He wasn't that old. It wasn't like he was fucking 50 years old when this happened. He was like, I think maybe early 40s, late 30s. Still in good shape. Still moving around. Still was fucking.
Oh, he just came off of doing the Naked Gun.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So he still was in like good physical shape to a point. It's like. He had this real small woman, and he had this guy who fucking thought he could probably handle OJ, and maybe he did handle him a little bit, maybe, or OJ could have snuck up on him and just started stabbing the fuck out of him.
OJ could have murked that guy. He was like a little ass white boy.
Was he? I don't even remember.
Like a little rich kid, I think.
I know he was a waiter.
He was a waiter. But
No. I think the waiter was the guy who lived in the back house of OJ's house. Because that was the thing. Because think about it.
Yeah, they tried to say he left a watch or something.
Yeah.
Something at the restaurant. I don't even know. Not a watch, but it's something.
But
stupid.
it was basically.
And he was driving a car around town.
OJ's footing all the bills. He's already been known to whoop her ass.
Right.
Like badly, and then she finds out that as he's paying all the bills for the house she lives in, paying for a car, she's got another guy in there. And in the fucking abuser's mind, like it's not like, oh, well, she's moving on in life. It's like, no, fuck that. That bitch is mine. I will kill anybody who fucking talks to her. And he almost decapitated. I think is it Goldman? That name sounds Ron Goldman.
Well, no, wasn't Goldman one of the?
No, Cato something was the friend, and then Ron Goldman I think was the one that stabbed her death.
Okay.
Or that might be his daddy, but.
I thought, this Goldman was the guy who got stabbed, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He was part of the Goldman family.
Yeah, he's part of the Goldman family.
Yeah, that's why I say he was like from a rich family, but for some reason he was waiting tables.
Yeah, I mean, he's fucking. They were like, you got to get a job. He's like, okay, you gonna keep the money coming, that type of shit.
Right.
Rich people. It's like like that.
He deserved it.
I don't know. You remember Alex? Alex from the.
Oh yeah, prime example.
Yeah, getting the job just before he gets the hookup to not really have to work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like make a shit ton of money.
That segues into white privilege, but let's hold on to that.
Oh yeah, it does.
So, by the way, props to New Day.
Fucking booty shirt.
I love him. I actually like the shirt.
But again,
I got nothing. See, here's the thing though. I got the sense of humor that can handle it. Mm-hmm. A lot of white people don't. Nah. You know what I mean? They're like, fucking guy out there singing a country song, making fun of me. And here goes into my second segue.
Go ahead.
New Day goes on stage, puts on a cowboy hat, puts one of those fake horses on a broomstick between his legs.
Wait, I thought New Day was all of them.
Right, but it's one of them. The dreadlocks guy, I think it was. E, maybe.
I don't know. I don't watch that shit.
Yeah, me neither. I just seen it from the YouTube videos.
I know you did a little research.
Google New Day, it'll come right up.
Don't Google them. You're not missing anything.
Well, it changed. Again,
crime
they
time.
start out.
Do you want to see some shit that's
Crime
really
Time.
fucked
I
up?
watched some Crime Time. That was terrible.
I don't even know if that was...
New Day was at least fun. Crime Time was just like, this is terrible.
And I was like, are they recent? Is this a recent thing? Because they looked at this
No, it was around. It was around New Day.
Oh, so they were the...
New Day was in the early 90s.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. They've been doing anything. No, not New Day.
These
It could have
guys?
been.
Bootios.
Because that guy's young as shit. The one who's like, the one with the dress. He's like, I know he's got to be... I wouldn't say he's older than like 31, 32.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But the point I'm getting at is, black guy comes to the stage, basically full of white people. Horse between his legs, stick horse, cowboy hat, singing the country song, making fun of white trash people.
One they made
Get
up.
it?
Yeah.
Get it? Totally get it. Funny. Yes, I laughed.
Uh-huh.
Because it's hilarious to me. But I got that sense of humor. But my point is, the quid pro quo,
If it was reversed.
reverse, and that's when my racism radar goes off.
You know, I think I told you. I think I might have told you this. You sound like the price. What was it? Is that the Price is Right?
That shit pisses me off so bad, man. It's like, listen, I'm all about equal playing ground. You gonna make fun of me? Damn right, I'm gonna make fun of you. Put on some gold chains and some baggy jeans, and
here's the problem. It's like so.
And they're like, that's racist.
So
but then he does it back. It's like, well, that's funny. It's fine. We'll let it slide.
So I can tell you this, especially
Explain that
with
to
like
me.
black
Explain
people.
it to me.
So nobody likes when the winner brags. I've said this for a lot. I've had black people get mad at me. I've had white people get mad at me about saying this. Nobody likes when a winner brags, right? Like if you
Hence
lose,
why everybody hates Tom Brady.
Does he brag?
He's just an asshole. Anyway, continue. We're
Yeah.
not going down that.
But so yeah, but it's so essentially that like. But if Tom Brady, I'm talking about, was the full on brag, like you can't fuck with me. I'm the best. You bitches suck. Fucking suck my dick. You know, like all that. I'm talking about like fully leaned into what people want him to be. That's like I'm talking about just like that type of.
There you go.
I know that type of bragging where it's like, I want to fucking break your leg or your arm. So you know, like that type of shit. Nobody likes when a winner brags.
Right, you're gonna pop off on him.
Huh?
You're gonna like get aggressive, like shut the fuck up.
Yeah, or you're just gonna get mad.
Nobody likes a winner who's cocky. Everyone wants Barry Sanders going to the end zone and taking a knee.
Yeah, that's like, but like I said, it's one of those situations where that's kind of what America is.
Very true. Good point.
White
but
people
that's still
that
still has nothing to do with.
No. I get what you're saying, but I'm saying that's some of the reason why I think black people like black jokes in general, right? So a black guy tells a joke about a million white people. Oh, you know, honky tonk, blah, blah, you know, either sister, cousin, fucking, or you know, they're extra nerdy, lame, whatever, right?
But you're not starting a white joke going.
No.
So a black
But
guy.
that's what I'm saying, because
Because everybody's like, oh, it's funny. We can't say nothing back.
It's carte blanche. It's just like literally, you can just whatever the fuck you want to say.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's why we're kind of in a situation, and that's where obviously that's going to change here in a little bit.
I agree.
It's like because in the future you couldn't do that shit. Like 60s, 70s you could. 60s, I can't remember what was on TV, but 50s, 60s. So it's a long time of ass kicking, right?
Right.
And
if you would have done that in the 70s, whoo!
No, they did in the 70s.
Cops would have been like,
so they did do in the 70s.
hello, sir, is this New Day?
But
25 something.
Exactly.
We found New Day.
wait.
Put it on the carpet now.
And they would hit him with one of these. Oh, what's that?
That's correct.
I'm like, oh shit, looks like. No,
You're right.
It would have been like 3 keys of cocaine fell out of his back pocket. Like, oh my god, look at this. Oh, there.
Somebody look at this.
I'm like,
I think.
And that's what I'm telling. I told people this before, and I had a black guy get real mad at me. He was like, "What do you mean black people aren't doing blah blah blah? You're trying to say white people are holding that?" Like he was real mad. He's also kind of like super. He wasn't. I won't say white, but he was like pretty indoctrinated in like white culture. Like he loved rock more than he loved anything else. You know, it was, and he had like really super white friends. But that's what I'm saying. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, man, I get it. It's not really right. Like if you look at it in common sense, just on a level playing field, like, well, why can he say that and he can't? You know what I'm saying? And there's some comedians who don't really, fall in that category. They still talk about everybody. But there's such good and smart comedians that they don't do it in a way where people are like, fucking racist, get the fuck out of here.
Well, it's got to be funny.
Exactly. It has
if
to
it's
be funny. But see,
it's okay. If it's not funny, we're like
but
racist.
see, like it was like some black people, especially some black people,
I get
they've sometimes it's not funny.
Right.
And
I agree.
Like I'm, me and you talk a lot of times. I'm real big on comedy, and if it's just not funny, I don't give a fuck who you talking about.
Right.
It's just not.
It
funny.
ain't funny. It ain't funny.
It ain't funny. And that's when you notice whether it's which one you talking about. This?
Rebel, please. Thank you.
Damn boy, what you trying to do?
Stay
Fucking
awake.
heart gonna be pounding out of your goddamn skull.
I only have one Rebel. All right, keep going.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So Yeah, man. It's the best analogy I can give. Nobody likes when the winner brags, you know. So if the loser starts talking shit, what do?
You're right.
You know what
I
you do?
see what you're saying. I
Every-
see what you're saying.
When I played football or basketball, or whatever, what do? When the loser talking shit and you're talking shit back, but you just see they don't get it, you be like, scoreboard.
Right.
Look at the scoreboard. Like I ain't gotta say nothing else. Look at the scoreboard.
Right.
And white America.
That's a
compared
good
to
point.
Black America
That is a really good point.
has listen the wins on their side and the L's on our side.
See,
Whew,
once again,
astronomical.
this is why we have these conversations.
I like it.
It changed my thought process a
I
little
don't
bit.
know if it changed
I
it
still
or
don't
saying
like
it.
it
But see, that's what
because
I'm saying.
again we're trying to forget about it, but then you also told me we can't forget about it. So it's like, all right.
We can forgive.
But I think honestly, like you said, in the next 5 years, it won't be acceptable because white people are in a really weird time.
I would say 15
white.
to 20, not 5. 5 is too early.
Okay, 5's too early. You're right.
Maybe
Maybe
even,
10. Maybe 10.
Even, I'll say, put it this way. I'm gonna be honest. 20, and we might.
We
be,
get another black president. Over.
Oh, no, that's not. Well, correction. No, I'm trying to think. I was gonna say Kamala Harris, but black people are upset at her because she was a prosecutor. And it's funny because it's the best chance you really have. Because on the conservative side, you're like, oh, you fucking Democrats weak. Like, I'm a prosecutor, baby. I put plenty of black and brown people in jail.
I love
and
that.
white
though.
people.
I love that.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what.
I love looking at the offense and not seeing the skin color.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like that's your job.
Well, see,
You know what I mean?
as long as it's equal, and that's the other
But
problem.
again, it's equal
Yeah.
if you don't look at the skin color, you
And
look at the
just
offense.
yeah, exactly.
Like, and I think that's a big thing that should happen before they read the case. Like, it shouldn't be like, oh, a black guy woke up to a white guy and stole his money. It should just be like one guy went up to another guy and stole his money, right?
Or a white guy stole a black man. Why you had to put the other way? Racist.
I just the way it came out,
I
you know.
the racism
What
in
is
your
that?
head
What's
went
that
loud
called?
to happen.
The subconscious, you know what I mean?
But no, so
I guess I'm racist.
but that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where it's like she actually wouldn't be bad. It's just like on the liberal side, they're like, nope. You know, it's so funny when you see like whenever the president, like when Democrats in office, Trump fucking roasted literally everybody. Had nothing tangible to say,
Right.
and literally just talked
Destroyed.
shit about everybody. He didn't say anything that was like really tangible.
Hit those tunes again real quick. Tangible.
I
Keep
got
going,
you.
though.
But I was gonna say anything tangible, but you gotta turn it on, baby.
It's on.
Oh, hold on, I'll turn it.
There it is.
Yeah.
Keep going. Anything tangible.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's one of those things where it's like, but he won, right? That's like because what everybody keeps saying. I can understand him. I understand him. He talks like I talk. Da da da. All this shit, and I'm one of the guys in the back. You remember the older guy? I liked him a lot when we worked at Fast. Well, we'll say the all large company.
What, Brent?
No.
Older guy.
Not Brent. I'm saying he was in the back. He was still working there when you left.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He was conservative, but I think he's like an older general conservative. But I remember him saying, "Yeah, I like it. He talks. You know, he spits it out." I was like, and I remember telling him, I was like, "You want your daughter to talk like that?" Because he had like a 5 or 6 year old daughter.
Right.
I was like, "It was so cool. You want your kids talking like that?"
Right.
I was like, "Fuck that she's 6 years old. Not fuck her, but fuck that she's 6 years old. She's 16 years old. You want her talking like that? Because she's gonna talk like you. She's gonna talk like that to you."
Right.
I was like, or talk like that to other people. I was like, that's how you really want her conversation? It's like, no, I'm just saying, I'm tired of the political shit, da da da. I'd rather a newcomer. I was like, he's not a newcomer. He's tried like 3 times already.
Right.
I was like, it's just this time, it was the person that we put up, and I told you, it was the difference between a shit pile and a shit sandwich. At least with the shit sandwich, you're eating some bread. You know what I'm saying? There's something.
What, Hillary versus Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And the shit pile, whoever you talk to, it was literally the shit pile was either Hillary or the shit pile was Trump. But again, it's still a shit pile versus a shit sandwich. Which one can you stomach more? I'll be honest with you. If I'm forced to eat, gun ahead, I got to eat something, I'm eating the shit sandwich.
yeah, you need some bread. Wash
Yeah.
it down.
That's like, because I can pretend, oh, this is horrible. I can't just dive into a shit pile
Right.
and be like nothing. But like I said, that is kind of. Kamala Harris would probably be best as when like winning, because she also shit talks Trump. I know if she would go up to Trump, she could handle him because she shit talks some other people, but then she kind of just floundered out. And now they want fucking, what's it, Elizabeth Warren Didn't she steal some money last go around or some shit like that?
There's a whole
And they
bunch
want
of stuff.
Bernie. I was like, I mean, Bernie might die. Like literally, like Bernie, it's a good chance Bernie might not make it. And come to find out, Bernie and fucking Joe Biden are in the same age bracket.
Biden looks rough.
He
Bernie
looks
actually
horrible.
doesn't have. If
It's
you
not-
listen to the news and what
Oh,
he's
yeah,
saying,
yeah, it's bad.
they're like, "Oh, it's a crazy old white guy." But if you actually check him
Bernie
out
has
for
been
yourself,
saying the same shit for 30
right?
fucking years.
And he's that's credible because he's never changed his
He's
tune.
never changed. He's always. And I was like, that's why I was like, some people were like, they had some black people like, well, where's your black agenda? I'm like, look, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. Homeboy's kind of been on the everybody train and all this shit and the poor people train. Like, I mean, yeah, I would like somebody to look into the situation of us. Okay, cool. But I was like, if somebody gonna listen, I guarantee it's gonna be Bernie.
I would
I'm
agree.
like, if somebody gonna listen to Bernie, gonna listen. Look, let the man rock. But at the same time, it's like, Bernie, he might hit Trump with like a good line, like that's why you fuck hookers, and then you know what I'm saying? Like that's why
But-
you fuck hookers, and then oh shit. my
Flip
arm,
side of that, though,
my
I feel
arm.
like black people thought that too when Obama came in president. They're like, "Oh, we're going on the top," and
Actually-
then all of a sudden, a year goes by. They're like,
Yeah.
a
You ask
term
lot-
goes by.
You ask a lot of black people.
All right, we get him this time. End of the term is like, "Whoa,
A lot.
what happened?"
You know what? That's how
And then they're like,
Trump
"Uncle
elected-
Tom."
Trump was actually able to get. I won't say a lot, but a good percentage of some of those voters and turn them into Trump supporters. And it's funny because you see, there's one guy on Instagram I just saw, and he's fucking hilarious because he looks like everything that a conservative white person would be afraid to even walk in the room with.
Right.
But he's wearing,
Stay on it.
I would say he's wearing a MAGA hat and a MAGA shirt, but he has like red Jordans on, and he's got like jogger pants on.
Trying to make him look hip.
And it's like, I mean, but he looks like any young kind of like, I'm not even gonna say hood dude, but he's got tattoos everywhere. He's got tattoos all up and down his arm, on his neck, but he's talking hellified legit Trump shit. Like, he's like, yeah, he's like, Trump did this, Trump did that. He's like, if he's racist, I want that type of racism in my life. And he's like drinking out of a cup, and he's surrounded by other black people. And they're like, man, somebody come get your man. Who the fuck is
Look at
this
this.
guy?
So look at
Yeah, but it's funny because I'm like, bro, if you go into a Trump rally right now, you're going to have to talk for 10 minutes before they want you in there because they're going to believe that you are a fucking Democrat, Hillary support, all this. I was like, because it was just his look alone. I'm black, and I'm like, this dude's a Trump supporter? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I got tattoos. I mean, his shit is covered. He's got hands. He's covered here. And it's
He
not,
doesn't get up there, then is like, "My name's Tom."
Yeah.
What?
It's like they're gonna be like, hey, can you do me a favor? Put this jacket on, stand in the back, and don't say anything.
Get to my last point about
Do your thing, baby.
shake your head at. White voice. And for the prime example, I called you,
When?
and Naeem, if you didn't shut this shit off yet, I told you about this at the gym the other day.
You called me?
Yeah, I literally just explained this to you like 3 hours ago. You are gonna have fucking dementia.
Oh, that. I'm drinking cranberry juice.
I went into a FedEx. Okay.
Oh, you're talking about that.
Dropped
yeah.
off a package. 2 black guys behind the counter. I'm the only white guy. I so bad wanted to be like, "What's up, brother?" I just wanted to. I just wanted to be cool. I wanted to be one of the guys like, "Hey, man, you know, I'm a loose white dude. We can hang out. You know what I mean? Come do a podcast. Talk about black people. It'll be fun. Gooba dooba
You
doo."
definitely can't invite everybody. Oh, I'm sorry. Man.
Now you're fucking up my pictures. So yeah, definitely can't. But the point is like, and I asked you, and I even asked Naeem.
You asked him to?
I asked him.
What did he say?
He's like, we know you don't talk like that on a regular basis.
And same shit I was telling you, right? Yeah.
Right. But what's
But
funny
actually,
is,
you do.
I don't change much. I mean, you know what I mean?
But it's just funny because you peep the situation and you're like, probably not with this guy.
Well, right, and that's kind of my point. It's like you don't know how I talk. Just because I met you for the first time, like, "What's up, brother, man?" You don't know if I would say that to you or not.
Exactly.
Right? So you're prejudging, you're predetermining what a white person should say versus what they shouldn't say, and you're not okay with it because it's your thing, right? But hold on, I'm not done. I'm not done.
Go ahead.
But now flip that. White guy walks into FedEx, 2 black guys behind the counter. What do? You're not like, what up, cuz? You're like,
How you doing today, sir? Yes, my name's Michael Jenkins, and I'll take your package from you.
and I'm like, I don't fucking talk like that. You know what I mean? I ain't got a stick up my ass, walking around on my tippy toes. You know what I mean? So it's like, again, it's one of those reverse roles. This is what white people can't fucking stand is reverse the roles. So you can talk to me like some crazy ass cracker from the 70s who sells life insurance, but I can't talk to you like, I don't even know. I want to say black. Like you're just a cool motherfucker. Yeah.
There you go. Am I good now? I can answer you.
Hold on. I just make sure I cover my bases.
Uh-huh.
So the point was, cover that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just anything that pisses most white people off is if the role was reversed. And I get what you said about the winning team, so a lot of that clicked. But my point was being like, how you doing today, sir? And I get that because it kind of calms a lot of white people down because if you're like, yeah, man, I got your shit, you're going to be like, You take a 70-year-old white lady who remembers color water fountains, it ain't going over so good. You know what I mean? She's gonna be like, he raped me. And then you'll be on the front page of the fucking Inquiry.
See, and that's
right.
There you
and
go.
I get it. I get it.
So,
but
it's still,
at the
it's
same
still
time,
annoying
for the
as shit.
flip side, I'm not saying there's got to be a common ground, but it's a predetermined judging thing that you're like, he doesn't talk like that.
But see, so
now I will tell you, as a sales guy, as a guy who worked with you,
well, also a guy you
Right.
have to talk to people for a living.
right? I talk to people for a living, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I get around a hick-ass country guy,
I ain't gonna do that shit. I'm fucking gonna feed the cows today. Gotta go out, bale some hay, and throw it
But-
over the head.
you know what I do?
What?
Hey, man, I understand. I ain't gonna do that either, man.
Yeah, and I don't do the twang, but I'll use like country
Certain
slang.
things.
Country slang.
Or you might throw in something that he
relates to,
Yep.
right? I'm trying to be relatable to him. Okay? Now I see a guy, yes, my name is Tom. I'm like, well, hello, Tom. My name is Steve. It's nice to meet you. Give him the classic white guy handshake, right? Tom, I want to talk to you about a few opportunities that you might be interested in. Could help your potential business here. You have, can I take 5 minutes of your time? And he'll be like, well, I think I can clear up my schedule here. I'm looking at my smartwatch. I paid $355 for this. Just want to let you know. Not bragging. Just want to let you know. It's the new Apple Watch, by the way. Syncs to my phone. Syncs to my whole house. Very, very, very cool stuff here. But yes, I'll take 5 minutes of your time, and we can talk about what you would like to talk about. Let's have a seat. Let's have a frappuccino at the local Starbucks and converse about it. Now I see a black guy. It's kind of like,
Well, you gotta let him talk.
what up, bro?
First. You gotta let
You're
him talk
right.
First.
You gotta let him talk first.
That's what I do with it. See,
If-
me
if-
personally,
if a
I
bl-
do the buddy. That's why I do buddy.
And you and I talked about the buddy. The
That's
buddy is a safe zone.
I said, "What's going on, buddy? How you
What's
doing?"
up, buddy, man? Yeah, buddy.
Like,
buddy.
Because it doesn't matter. So what happens?
You know who
is-
foreigners get that the most? They all say buddy.
Well, see, that's also where I
Buddy,
got it from.
you're my buddy.
Oh, I get called brother by it, but it's not even in the
And
way. They're like,
right.
my brother. No, they're like, hello, brother. Oh, brother, it's a good day. And I was like, no, I think you just say brother a lot. When you
So
say
I got to,
English.
real quick, though, I got to tell the whole FedEx story. So I had to return something to FedEx
I messed this chair
in the
up.
middle of Harrisburg.
No, I didn't mess it up. I had to sit
And,
right.
yeah, I walk in, 2 black guys behind the counter. And I'm sitting behind it, and it was like I forget the comedian, but I'm sitting there like a dog with a treat in front of my face, and I'm like, I just want to be like,
Well, for
what's up,
those-
brother? Ah, whew, got that off my chest. How you doing, man? Yeah, good. Hey, I got this package. I'm gonna return it. You got the receipt? Thank you, man. I'll see you later. Like, I wanted to say that so bad, just like that. And if it would have been anybody
you say it?
that I know, but a little angel was like, boo-dee-doo.
Little black agent, don't forget about that.
And it was
me.
Mike Jenkins. Black angel, all in white clothes, which is just,
Awesome.
everybody knows Jesus was white anyway, so I don't know why it was a black angel on my shoulder. But I'm
gonna
sitting
get
there,
into
he's like,
that, too.
don't call him that. He don't like it. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, so then I went white voice. I was like, how you doing, sir? I just want to say, here's my package. Thank you very much, sir. And I used sir redundantly too much to sort of feel like I was pushing respect. You know what I mean? And it was super uncomfortable.
'Cause
But
it's
I
not
did
natural.
it. It's not. It wasn't natural for
It's not
me.
naturally what
But
you
my
want it to
point
do.
is, what is natural, right? He did white voice, probably thinking like, "Oh, it's uptight, fucking white guy. Here he comes. Gonna use the white guy voice. How you doing, today, sir?" Now, if I was a, let's say, 50-year-old guy,
Understand.
white guy, understandable. Young, I'm not hip, but young white guy, let's say, our age and lower, you can pop off a little bit. I don't say that.
No, you don't. I was gonna say don't say that.
I don't say pop off.
Well, like I said, we were talking
But you get my point.
Yeah. Well, again, see now, that's kind of an individual thing. But again,
Stay up on it. You drifting again.
no. What you were saying about it being the winners and the losers type.
No, I
of
meant the
conversation.
microphone.
Okay. But I'm saying the winners and the losers conversation, which we were talking about, which you understood. You
I get it. I totally
Because
get
it's
that.
one of those things because I guarantee.
But
If
when
they
do we
go-
reach common ground?
I don't know about that one, man. Because
Because you got 13% of the population, and you told me multiple times that
I
you
said
guys
14.
a lot. Okay, 14, whatever.
I don't know.
A lot of white people. It's going to take a long time. There's going to be a lot more Stephen Currys and fucking Mahomes
Oh yeah. Before
until
that. Yeah.
there's going to be a generation full of mixed people until we're like, well, I guess we're all the same now. Fuck it.
Well, see, that's and I think
How's that
what
argument
they
going to
say,
go?
2030, 2040, some shit like that.
It's
That's
coming.
What's supposed to happen. Where everybody will be, it'll be hard. Everybody will be racially ambiguous. Besides the people who like,
I'm not going to lie. I'm excited for that.
I don't even know what that's gonna look like. To be honest with you. Well,
We'll still be doing this lame-ass podcast talking shit about those kids. We're like,
Yeah.
these fucking mixed-breed kids, they don't remember.
zebras.
Yeah, zebras, exactly.
Or mulattoes or something like that. That's what I used to hear. So, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, when you're at work, you don't want to risk work. You don't want to risk the job, especially if
You got to be
if you have to
politically
interact.
correct
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
right point in time.
Because you and it's like you remember the video of Obama? He was in a locker room.
Oh,
I think-
yeah.
Was it Duke
yeah.
or someone?
And
Well,
he's like,
he's
shake hand,
shaking hand,
shake
shaking
hand.
hand. He gets to the black
dog?
people. Yeah.
What up, dog? head dab. I think it was actually the Golden State Warriors.
No, it was a younger group. It was a younger group of people.
I thought it was when the Golden State
I
Warriors
think he
came to
did.
the
I think he did the same thing.
to the White House.
No. This
and it was
one.
like, white guy.
No, this
white
one.
guy.
He
white
was
guy.
in the locker
white guy.
room.
Black guy. What up, bro?
He was.
Tap, tap.
He was in the locker room. He was walking in the locker room, and the coaches, white coaches were there, and he was like, "How you doing? Hey, Barack Obama. Hey, Barack Obama. Hey, Barack Obama." And there's a song by a guy named Rich Homie Quan. It's supposed to, I think in the reality is in reality it's called My Nigga, My Nigga. It's called My Nigga. All right.
He said it.
And it's like his song goes, my nigga, my motherfucking nigga. It's not the greatest chorus in the world, probably, but it's just sometimes, certain songs do certain things to you.
Right.
It's like, but somebody mixed that, so the video is shown, and it's like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? And then the next you hear the song, my nigga, and he starts dabbing at black people.
I seen it.
And
I
I
seen
was
it.
like, I want to be upset about this because he's the fucking president. It's fucking hilarious.
It's
but
fucking hilarious.
It's even more hilarious because he's literally, what's happening? What's going on, baby? Give us some hug. Give us some love. Like the Key and Peele sketch.
Yeah.
Remember, he's like,
Yeah.
hello. He's like, oh, my octa room, bring it in.
Ah! Yeah.
And then even the baby came in for the hug, and he was like, fist bump.
Yeah.
So,
That was a good skit.
yeah, I was like, that was probably one of the best ones. But that's what I'm saying. So it's like, you kind of have to, you got to read the room. That's just common sense. If you're like a people person and you understand body language, chemistry, whatever, you can't, at work, they might have did the same thing to everybody. And then
Right.
at home, even black people like, hey, what's going on? And then I'm not going to lie to you, there's certain times where I went certain places where I was talking to black people and I felt my white voice just like, I gotta get rid of this. Because it's like, I'm like, hey, how you doing? What's going on, buddy? And he's like, man, what's happening with you, baby? What you got for me today? And I'm like, well, I have this, and this. And it's like, oh, man, that's what I'm talking about. Boy, you know what? You're the motherfucker right there. And I'm like, fuck it. What's happening, man? Yeah, all right. Yeah, man. I was like, I hope this helps with sales or something because we real cool now. And I shouldn't have stepped out of this fucking place I was in. But now I'm here because it feels comfortable.
So, last thing we're going to talk about with this topic, but
Well, we got to get out of here, too.
there was a point with Pearson was working. There was a dude, black guy, used to come in every once in a blue moon. That was for a contract, doesn't matter. And dude came in, every white guy. Hey, how can I help you, sir? How can I help you, sir? White guy voice. Black guy
Wait,
came in.
the people did it to him or he did it to them?
He did it to that. He did the white guy voice. Second, I see him around a black guy. Stop, what you need? And I'm like, okay, I see. This is a thing. This is real. You treat us different. And I get it. It's cool. It doesn't bother me. Not at all. Not in the least bit. And I will tell you one last thing, and I want to move on to the next subject is there's another guy that goes to my gym who is black. His name's Trey. Super cool dude. Ripped motherfucker. And every day I see him, I get black taps, and I'm like, I get excited for him. I'm like, yeah, they coming. They coming. They coming. And I'm like, yeah, what's up, baby? Pop, pop, pop. And he, like, pulls you in, gives you, like,
I'll give you one.
yeah.
It does make you feel good. I'm not gonna lie.
It makes you feel good. I'm like, yeah, I'm one of the boys.
Like,
Like,
I don't
yeah.
even know him.
Yeah, we cool. We cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to move on to white privilege. That's the next topic.
Nah, I'm gonna have to tell you, time-wise, we're gonna have to wrap it up here in a second.
We're gonna have to wrap it up, but we got.
But,
I'm
so-
looking at what we got. And really, we with two more things, and this is one of them I want to touch on.
So white privilege can go into those other categories we had, winners and losers. And what I mean by that is, so because, and Chris Rock said, he said it in a joking way, if it's white, you know it's right, like that type of shit. If it's white, you know it's right, you know that. And it's one of those things where it's like, what he meant was, or at least this is what I think he meant, and this is how I see it. So I've had situations where I have seen two different scenarios. I'll never forget. In 8th grade, I knew this guy named, probably should say his real name. He might be dead or in jail. Or he might have fucking turned it around.
Is he white, black?
Black.
That's all that matters.
I went to a predominantly black and Hispanic school before I moved over to the suburbs.
Texas.
And then, in Texas. And then I went to a predominantly white school.
Right.
For high school. So, I'll never forget it. Reggie, his older brother sold weed, right? He didn't sell weed. He was around his brother. He might have smoked a little bit every now and with him. But he hyped it up. Oh, man, I smoke all the time. He did. It was like, oh, man, I'm selling weed. He did. It was his brother. One day, he stupidly took a pound of weed from his brother's stash.
Right.
Came to school, and I don't know if you remember, like, the big Jenko pants.
Oh, yeah, Janko jeans?
Jenko jeans.
I had Janko jeans.
Pockets so big, he was able to hide a pound of weed in it.
Unfortunately, Janko jeans.
But he went to pull something out in front of a teacher.
Okay.
Whole bag comes out.
Oh, and he was white.
I mean, I think all our teachers are white, except for, like, one or two guys.
Right, but the kid that did it was white, right?
No, black. I'm saying
Oh,
the black
he's
kid.
Okay. Black kid wear Janko jeans?
Yeah. It was like some shorts or something. It wasn't. Nah. I mean,
They're skater jeans, so that's what I was saying.
well, where I was,
It doesn't matter.
It was actually Mexican jeans where I was at. Like Mexican
Really?
golf kids.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think I had a pair of Jenko jeans, but it was like, these
I
are too
had
big.
one. They were
Yeah,
stupid.
it was fucking huge.
I wore them like one time.
But what I'm saying is, Reggie, they found the weed, right?
Right.
Reggie gets expelled. Reggie has to go to the alternative learning school after going to juvie, right?
Right.
So he's had 3 things happen that are going to affect his life for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? Because he's going to have to explain that, yeah, when I was younger, I got it. You know, maybe he got expunged, or maybe he just went deeper into that life or whatever. Because we were kind of all like broke kids and shit. You know, it wasn't like anybody was rich or anything. You know?
Right.
But we weren't the poorest of the poor. You know, we were just, it was like broke and middle of the road type people.
Right.
Around bad people, like to say. So Reggie gets in trouble. That's 8th grade. 9th grade, I go to a predominantly white school. I meet a kid who got basically a DUI, had weed on him, and pills.
And pills.
And pills. He had At the time, I think it was Xanax. They used to call them like bars. We call them handlebars, shit like that.
Yeah, Xanax bars.
Yeah. So we call them. Yeah, they call them bars.
I got a story about that.
Oh well.
It's a white boy story. Another time.
Obviously, you might. No, maybe not. That's personal.
Yeah.
But so what I said, he's drunk. He's like 14.
Had nothing to do with me.
Yeah, he's 14, 15 years old. I think 14 actually. He's driving drunk. Shouldn't be driving.
Right.
Drunk, weed, pills. Right? 3 fucking things. Same thing. I mean, really, Reggie just had the weed. That's it. I remember him coming to school. I heard about it. I was like, oh, shit, he's fucked. We ain't going to see him again. He came to school that Monday. He was like, man, fuck. I can't believe I got fucked up this week. I got caught. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how the fuck are you here? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, dog, I knew somebody who got caught with like a pound of weed. He wasn't even selling this shit. You know, he didn't do nothing. Whole life was ruined. And he was like, oh, man, I got a court date on such and such, see judge, whatever. He knew the judge's name. And I was like, so, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh, man, so what are you going to do?
Ain't happening.
He was like, oh, man, he's like, motherfucking family, our family lawyer is going to da-da-da-da. And I was like, excuse me? And this wasn't a super rich kid. This is like
Right.
middle-class suburb kid. You know, maybe a little higher up, maybe upper middle, we'll say.
Okay.
And he was not worried, not stressed. I'm freaking out like, oh, man, I ain't going to see you again, bro. Like, I just mentioned this shit. Like,
Nah, I got
cool.
this. My dad knows. Okay.
He literally was like, he's the judge. And guess what? He had his court date. And I was like, at his court date, I'm like, man, I hope the best for you. He was like, fuck is, like, he was looking at me like, fuck is wrong with you? I'll be back.
See, I gotta jump in here because there is straight across the board privilege, not just white privilege.
Talking about
Like,
rich.
yeah, rich.
But he wasn't rich.
It doesn't matter at
Well,
the same time.
Well,
I shouldn't say rich. I
I'm
should
saying
say
this was a legal thing, meaning I saw 2 different people with similar drug offenses in the situation. Because I mean,
but they were different colors, so one got a better worse
I was like,
offense.
one
better
got
offense.
one got thing, and I know Reggie probably had a public defender, right? So I mean that also plays in the money. Maybe if he was like a rich black kid, maybe he's able to get out of that, right?
Right.
But I was just that was the first time I think I noticed something different when I saw something that I thought was similar. Because I'm like, this guy was drunk driving a car he shouldn't have been.
And this guy got jacked,
Weed
and this
and
guy
pills.
did.
I was like, yeah, and this guy, yeah, don't get me wrong, he had a good amount of weed on. I was like, but he wasn't smoking, he wasn't high, he ain't doing. I was like, but they basically threw the book at him, and this kid, obviously, well, maybe the lawyer, mommy's lawyer, whatever, got let off. But he also was able to get that shit expunged. And I was like, I've seen judges like, no, fuck that. This is gonna go in your permanent record. This is blah blah. Like, and this may not be the best example. Like, more probably the best example is like me driving versus my friends driving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when I get pulled over and fucking, I'm treated like a fucking criminal, where I actually know fucking these little white criminals
Right.
who get treated like angels, and the guy's like, it's funny because he's like, man, I'm glad he didn't ask anything else. I had like fucking weed pills, you know, served, all this shit. And I'm like, I'm over here, I got to keep the hand on the wheel. Like, I told you the story about how I got pulled over.
Yeah.
And the guy pulled he didn't pull his gun, he didn't point the gun at me, but he had his gun out and fucking ordered me to do all this shit and this crazy stuff. And I'm like, oh God. I'm trying not to get shot. What the fuck is going on? And then come to find out, this motherfucker pulled me over because the light on my license plate was out.
Yeah.
I didn't even, and at the time I'm 19, I didn't even know I had one.
But that's just looking. I've gotten pulled over for the light on the license plate out, and the guy basically was trying to see if I was drunk.
Now, see,
And he's like, "Can I smell your breath?" And I'm like, "What? Because it's 11 o'clock at night."
So
You know what I mean?
Again, I understand looking for something. I'm saying his reaction
After.
because I was black. I had my little Camaro. It's a V6. I loved it, but it wasn't fast. But I had my little system. But I'm playing music like what you fucking hear right here. That's the music that's coming out of my car. I had a do-rag on. I had braids. Maybe I'm a little too dark. You goddamn right. Never rip. If you don't know me by now, some bitch, you ain't never gonna know. All right? Some bitch. Girl, you better get it right. But no. But I'm just saying. So, and then also, here's one. And this is personal, but I'm trying to say, I was in class one time, right? And I had a teacher. I thought she was cool. American Sign Language. No, that's what I was taking it. I took it my second year, and first year was the shit. We talked, we learned all this stuff, we did things. Second year, they start the
Struggle.
class. They start the class like this. This
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
They want you to know.
I'm like, bro, it is 7:15 in the morning. I went to sleep at 3. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And it was like, so, but what happened was the teacher got mad at me because I fall asleep all the time. I'm like, it's elective. I'm a fucking senior. I don't need this class. You don't need me. Whatever. I'm in the back, not bothering nobody. It used to be these 3 white boys. I shit you not. And I was cool with them, mind you. They would fucking throw shit across the room. They would be talking. They would be literally fighting. One day, these 3 little white boys, and in the same vein that they've been told to stop, I was told to wake up, right?
Right.
But mind you, I'm in the back of the classroom, not bothering anybody. Nobody's being disturbed. These motherfuckers are literally putting on a show. They literally started wrestling each other in the middle of a fucking class. She sees them, and she's still like, and I'm like, and I'm up, and I'm like, these motherfuckers are wrestling. Like, one's like, they're next desk to each other, and they're holding on to each other. Yeah, I know you can hear that.
That's driving me nuts.
Oh, you want to put it up?
Thing's just dinging. I'm gonna put it down. Keep going.
That's this too. Oh, this is uneven.
Oh, just push it that way then. And
There
put the glasses farther apart. I'm sorry. It's the Buffalo Trace one. Push the Buffalo.
Oh.
Yeah, that one. I'm sorry. There you go. I'm sorry. That's driving me nuts. Just ding.
But so basically what happened was, like I said, they're wrestling so much that there was like they had these weird shaped desks that used to connect to each other.
Yeah.
And they start wrestling, they flip over that desk in the middle of her class. And I'm like, what in the fuck? And she gets mad. Hey, that's it. You go to this side of the room. You go to this side of the room. And you go to this side.
Knock that shit off.
Yeah, knock that shit off. Blah, blah. Oh, I can't, I can't. Yeah. She's, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. They'd already done the shit. They'd already, like, for 5 minutes been fucking around the whole class.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's it? All right. Well, back to sleep. And I wake up, and all I hear is, that's it. Get out of my class. Go to the principal's office. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, shit. They must have did something else. I'm like, it's like, oh, shit, they did something else. I wake up. She's standing in front of me, yelling at me to get out and go to the fucking principal's office. I'm like, what happened? I'm like, did I fucking hurt somebody while I was asleep? And she's like, no, that's it. You sleeping in my class. Get out. Get out. I'm like, and I still see them 3 motherfuckers sitting there. I'm like, I said,
What's
no.
going on? Yeah.
I said, no, I'm not going anywhere. And she was like, what? You want me to get the principal and get the resource officer up here? I was like, he going to be taking all of us down there. And she was like, huh? I was like, and
He pulled the black card.
no, I was at the very end. I said, hold on. I said, him, and him flipped the desk in front of you. And you didn't send them no. I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I was like, you out of your mind. I was like, I said, they flipped a desk in front of you.
When you're
like-
right, you're right.
And it was, and she was like, because she didn't think I would say that back to her. I was gonna pick up my shit and go.
Right.
And I was like, no, because I was like, man, you ain't getting me in trouble.
I didn't do shit.
I was like, it's still football season, ho. I want to play. I was like, I'm fucking starting this shit now. Fuck you. So I didn't cuss out, but I'm like, I'm like, no. I was like, we're not doing that. And I was like, hold on. And on top of that, isn't a school being sued for racially discriminating another kid? I was
Right.
like, and I threw that in her face because I heard about it from the front office. And I was like, oh, so you want to join on that, huh? Is that what we're doing? And she was like, well, just stay up, okay? Stop going to sleep. I was like, whatever, bitch. I went to sleep. I was like, you don't want these problems, ho.
You know,
That's small little things of white privilege. I was gonna say,
right. I get what you're
Yeah.
going with it though. Like they
Well-
got away with it because it was white, but at the same time, it
I
could
think
have
it's
been.
not even just because it's white, because, and so here's the thing, I think it might be a tribal thing where you see a kid, you know, like your niece, right? You
Right.
see your niece, you see exactly that. You see your niece, you know, you see a girl her age, you might see your niece. You might see just innocent little kid, whatever they're doing. But, and this is where the cop problem comes in. Now I was a big fucking man child. I'm not gonna say that. Like I came into
You're still big fucking man. Child.
exactly. Exactly. I was like, but I came into fucking high school at fucking 5'10", 170 pounds.
Right.
And I left by fucking my sophomore year. I was 245. The height I am, like 6'1", 6'2", my shoes on. Don't take it away from me.
Keep it all, baby.
It's like, but I was 245, and then by the end of high school, I was 280, same height. You know, and I was mostly muscle. So I can understand somebody looking at me and seeing something different, but like a kid like Tamir Rice, right? Do you know much? So Tamir Rice was a kid. He was playing in the park, and he was playing in the park. He had a fake gun.
I'm writing that down.
Go ahead. He was playing with a fake gun, right? Now somebody called. Now I think the problem was, and I don't know if you've ever done this, where when you have a fake gun or even like a handgun, you sometimes in a little fucked up kid mind, you aim it at people,
Right.
like pew, 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 pew.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, but he's in a park with it, like his sister's far away. He's kind of like in a pavilion area. So somebody calls the cop, and they even play the video. They're like, "Hey, there's this kid in the park. He's got a gun. I think it's fake, but just can you come out and see?" White guy. I mean, you can just hear it from the voice. And it's one of those things where it's like, why the fuck would you even call the cops on this kid? They're like, yeah, he's pointing the gun, and you know, he's doing this, and I'm like, it's a toy fucking gun, right?
Right.
The cops roll up on the goddamn grass in front of this kid. Mind you, he's like 11, 12 years old, and he sees a cop car pull up in front of him. I shit you not, within less than 5 seconds, the cop shot him in the belly.
God damn, that's fucked up.
And here's the fucked up part. The cop was such in a rush to get at him. He gets out the car. The only reason why it took like 5 seconds was because he slips coming out of the car, gets up, pulls his gun, and shoots. He doesn't say, put your hands up, doesn't say, get on the ground, drop the weapon, nothing. He literally, it's one of the most blatant things I've ever seen that I was like, what the fuck? And guess what? That cop is not in jail. That cop was only fired, acquitted, and I think the family got some money. Oh, and then on top of that, the little kid's dying in the parking lot because he's a frail little kid. It's like fucking maybe 80, 90 pounds. He gets shot in the stomach with a goddamn, police issue gun, whatever. His little sister, his older sister, I'm sorry, who's 12, 13, sees her little brother get shot by the cops, freaks out, and they fucking arrest her.
I don't think you're ever gonna see. And here's the kind of crazy thing is it's the mentality of people. For instance, like you said, you told me 2 stories today when we were at the gun range, which we got a whole nother time we'll have to talk about that.
Yeah.
With guns and politics and blacks and whites. But you told me 2 different stories within the first 30 minutes of you and I being together about how a black cop harassed you and you're black. And what was the other one?
No, so one was a black, and then it was just a black guy who who kind of was fucking me over at work.
Yeah, right, exactly. So it was a black guy fucking you over, and a black guy fucking you over in another instance, and it's easy to discern the difference when you see race versus race, because to your example of what you were saying about the rich kid or the privileged kid who got let off, same thing happened to me when I got my DUI. The kid that went before me basically got his exonerated because his daddy knew somebody.
And
I didn't know
said
shit.
Something about they were like, oh, we don't want this to mess up your life, right?
Right, and I went in and I'm like, well, I'm getting fucked. Sure enough, I got fucked. So, I mean, I think that's just a trace of the deck. In it happens to be that kid was black at that point in time, but it definitely happens in the white world. And it's on the same token of where you've gotten fucked by the cops. Listen, I've got set up by the cops too. I had one time I was driving, right? A cop was in a Dodge Durango. They just started putting
undercover.
Yeah, it was like one of the first times, only time actually, I've seen a Dodge Durango that was a cop car.
You don't really see that too much.
I was going down this road, and he was tailing me hard, real hard, right?
My bad.
And I speed up. He speed up with me. I sped up again. I slowed down. He speed up with me. I'm like, I got a legit hair on my arm standing up. I was nervous. I was like, what the fuck? This guy is like trying to beat my ass, or he's drunk, something.
Kill me, something.
We get on this thing, and I pull out, and I take off, right? And he is hauling behind me, and I slow down, and then I mash it. And he paces with me all the way up until I'm doing finally 20 over the speed limit.
Oh, so you're reckless driving.
Reckless driving.
Yep.
He tried to reckless drive me. I was like, okay, so I was going 5 over, 10 over, 15 over, 20 over. Once I hit 21, you're like, woo! And I was like, that's funny. I was speeding the whole time. Why you pull me over? He's like, why are you running? I'm like, because you're driving in a car that I have no idea what's happening right now, and you're tailgating my ass. He's like, why'd you pull in this driveway? I was like, because I didn't know who the fuck you were. So I was like, well, I'm going to let this guy go by me and think I live here. So when I pulled in the driveway, he hit the lights.
Did you say fuck?
No.
You say you didn't, or you don't know?
No, I didn't. I was,
Oh, okay.
I was like, yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. That's what white people get. We back down with the cops, where black people are like, what motherfucker? And that's why, you know,
We back some most back down because I'm telling
some
you,
white people still do this. It doesn't matter white or black.
Yeah.
You're either gonna confront them or you're gonna back off and be
I confronted
politically
one
correct.
cop in a similar situation, and when I did it, my heart was beating. I was like, stop.
Yeah.
I was like, because I had talked shit, and I'm like, I was right, but it was just like, but he could be right today and shoot your ass
Right.
dead.
So, like, my point being was, though, a white cop, white kid, country bunking fucking town. He's a country bunking cop. I didn't get no break. He set me up in an asshole way, and I got fucked by it. I had to go to court. I fought it. They didn't give a shit about what I had to say because
Really?
you were speeding.
Well, now see now that
Why were you speeding? I'm like, because I was fucking scared.
that's it's cop privilege.
They did.
There's a lot of privileges people don't like to admit.
You're drifting from
No,
it.
there's a lot of privileges people
They
don't like
they
to
did
admit.
step it back down and just gave me like 10 miles an hour because I would have lost my license and I was going to college at the time, and I would have been
reckless
fucked.
driving has that's
Yeah, I
a
would have lost
big
my license
fine,
for
right?
6 months and shit,
Yeah.
and like I would have been over points and this and so. They gave me 10 miles an hour. They told me I'd get no points. I got points, but
Points.
then I could just take the test, and then it got it reduced. But I was pissed. I was like, dude, how is that
Oh,
not
he set you
entrapment?
up. Yeah, he set you up.
You
for
set
sure.
me up hard,
Yeah,
and you knew it,
I had some shit.
and
like
I
that.
called you on
The
it,
only difference
and you
is
didn't care.
I didn't hit the brakes. I turned into a fucking like a where I'm from is Kroger's. It's like same thing as Safeway or some shit like
Right,
that.
right.
So I turned into like a Kroger's parking lot, and the only difference was they passed me by, and then I saw them get somebody else. Like I could still see them because it was just a long road. So I saw them, the lights hit, and then them get somebody else. But it was similar where it's like an unmarked car, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? And I'm like, man, I'm a.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm thinking robber. I'm thinking person harm me. So I'm like, let me pull in this Kroger's parking lot. I was like, because if some shit gotta go down, I'm gonna run this motherfucker over. I'm out of here, because I had my little Camaro, and it wasn't like fast on the straightaway, but it's quick on the get off.
Right.
And lo and behold, it was just like like the Eggmobile. It was like a Taurus, like the newer Taurus.
Ford Taurus, but
Yeah.
newer,
Yeah,
like
and
a Fusion or something.
but I forgot what year, but it was like when they started doing it, and I'm like, what the fuck? But it was blacked out, but it didn't have a light or anything.
No
now I
lamp
know what to
booms.
look.
Right,
that
right, right.
stupid like fat antenna thing on the back.
Right, and they got the
wheels and
little-
shields.
The other thing is they got them things in the grill.
Yeah, but also if you look closer, but the wheels too. The wheels are usually like a weird stock type of tire. It's not a
Right, it's like
what
a
comes with the
steel.
tire. Yeah. It's like, and I also tell white people white privilege. White privilege doesn't mean fuck they're gonna get off. It's the benefit of the doubt. That's what if anything, white privilege is that, and that's because again, America is predominantly white. So when a white people says a white person, there's a link. Like I can instinctually, unconsciously.
I know what you're saying. If
Link
it's
that
if
with-
it's a white judge and a black guy and a white guy versus each other, you're like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the white guy's right.
Yeah, or not even that, or just like in the cop situation, like I more of a personal thing where it's like, I'm an older white guy. I see you, right? You might look like my nephew. You might look like my little brother. You might look like somebody I can associate something to. Versus I see a person of a different color who maybe has tattoos, who looks different. I'm like, would I know about this person?
All the cameras are dying, buddy. We gotta
Okay.
we gotta kill it.
All right.
But listen, man,
As usual,
I appreciate you doing this.
we got to come back to it.
Yeah,
started
we
getting
got
real
plenty of
good at
other
the end.
topics. I'm gonna have to get extended cameras for your ass.
No, we got to start earlier.
Well, it doesn't matter if the cameras died.
I know. There's the last one.
Yeah, and they all died.
I can stand
So
up.
we're gonna end with no video. And what's crazy is I didn't know how far we made it, but
Oh, I knew how far because it's late as shit.
Yeah, it didn't feel that long though.
It
These
did.
podcasts never feel that long.
Only problem
And-
is your chair doesn't have enough ass cushion for me.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get you just a fucking pillow or something, man.
Oh.
I don't struggle with it, but
You ain't got much ass.
It's kind of hard being Snoop D-O double G,
This song's awesome.
but I, somehow, some way, keep coming up with funky ass shit like every
Every
single
other
day.
Like I
May
say,
kick
the
on
beat,
something for
listen to the
beat
beat.
and make a few
That's what I'm
bands
saying.
as
So
I
if you
bridge
listen to the
through
beat on live,
to-
that's why I can't get some country songs I can get behind where I'm like, God damn, all right.
no. See,
Okay.
it's Snoop Dogg's voice too.
Yeah,
It's
real
kind of
melodic.
cool.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Dre's like real deep, boom, boom, boom.
But he
And
can't.
Snoop Dogg's like,
Snoop wrote for him.
double D, and you're like, yeah, he's hit, boy.
And he's still got the
different
same
vibe.
fucking voice, fucking 50 years old. And he's still smoking weed and a goddamn badass. All right.
Listen,
get on out of here.
we missed on Uncle Tom.
Even though you call me Uncle Tom, you son of a bitch.
We missed on Trump and racism,
Well, no, we got
the
on, what you
Confederate
talking
flag,
about?
a little
We
bit,
got on
but we got a lot more to talk about. The gun
Well, this
debate,
part one.
white terrorism,
Oh, yeah.
the opioid epidemic, and the Tulsa massacre with Emmett Till. So we got a lot to come back with,
Well,
my
not
friends.
with Emmett Till, but also Emmett Till.
Also Emmett Till, but you got the point. So, and I also wrote down a few more from this.
You
So
better stop talking because people may not watch this last part.
it doesn't matter. But Jenkins, I thank you for coming down here
As
and
always.
doing the thing. And
Let's-
again, we killed the cameras doing this fucking thing.
Let's do it next time. Bring the other black guy. He's older.
Yeah.
Or let's get another fucking non-scared,
But I would love to see
Pussified.
Naeem do this shit. That'd be fun.
one of your non-pussified friends.
Maybe eventually.
I know. One day they'll, you know what? We're going to talk about family and they'll be like, all right, I'll come here.
Yeah. If you made it this far, thanks for listening.
Later on that day, my homie Dr. Dre came through with a gang to Tango Ray and a